Welcome to the best of 7 grand final. We're finally here. We have the dudes against the Exodia stack, and it is grand final time. A full best of 7 right in front of us. The dudes came from the winner bracket. They actually defeated the Exodia stack with a 3-1 score in the winner bracket final. So we have a rematch now. The Exodia stack dropped down into the losers bracket and had to go for a run here just to fight for that rematch. And well, they've been looking very strong. But can they this time take the dudes out, yes or no? Now, there's a bit of an advantage, obviously, for the dudes coming from the winner's bracket. They could choose the map from a certain pool, and they also have first pick, first ban. So we're heading into Blackheart's Bay now as our starting map. Out of all of the weird maps that we had for them, they chose this one and have probably a strategy prepared here. And this has been mega fun. By the way, we had to wait a little bit because Nano was still stuck in a Storm League game. So we had to wait for him to finish it, and the first question that I asked at the end of the lobby was like, so did you win the game at least? Did you win your warm-up? And he just came and was like, nope. So yeah, apparently they got wrecked there. Let's hope that this one is going to go a bit better for them. The Exodia stack, of course, would love nothing more than that translating over into this series. If you're unfamiliar with the Murky Cup, let me repeat this real quickly. Once again, this tournament is privately sponsored by I Can't Wait. Huge shout out to him. Absolute legend. We had over the past couple of years multiple people that actually sponsored events. For example, Mr. X comes to mind that sponsored the X Cup. Huge shout out to him. We had multiple seasons of that. Then we had Kevin, who had all of these offline tournaments that we were running. And now again, I Can't Wait, who sponsors the Murky Cup. The tournament is also named because of him. He is a Murky fan, and the bounty system features a triple reward for the Murky bounty. And if you're unfamiliar with the bounty system, then you missed out on a whole lot of awesome matches, and you should definitely go back in the playlist and check that out. But we have a $2,000 prize pool in total, and $1,000 goes to the prize money as with any other tournament, and then we have $1,000 in the bounty pool. And you will see the bounties now on screen. So teams can complete bounties, and if they do, they get a ticket for that $1,000 bounty pool. The more tickets you complete as a team, the bigger your share is of that bounty pool at the end of the tournament. And each team can complete any of these bounties once. So we've had a lot of bounties already attempted, played out, and successfully accomplished by specifically the Exodia stack, who during the qualifiers farmed the bounties just non-stop. The dudes locked in a lot of them as well. We could see more bounties in the grand final, but of course, since this is the grand final, you're really running a risk here. There's one thing if you have a 3-0 lead over your opponent and you decide that you want to gamble a little bit, but it's a completely different story if you're trying to do that already in game number 1 or game number 2. So you might set yourself up for failure, specifically a team like the Exodia stack that already has completed a whole lot of bounties and have only very difficult ones left. They tried the Gazlo bounty several times and they always were defeated, so highly unlikely that they're going to be willing to do that just here right now. We have a draft rule too, so there are draft restrictions. A hero that gets played cannot be played again. So every single hero that you see in game number 1 cannot be played for the remainder of the series, and the same is true for every other hero that gets played in game 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So if we go to game 6, 7, you can imagine that hero pool is going to get reduced pretty heavily, and that in and of itself is going to make things already spicy and interesting. Now, we have a bit of a killer comp here with Varian, Genji, Greymane. All that the team needs on the right side of the map now, in red, is a support that can follow up on this. Malfurion with a root, Uther with a stun, Stukov with a lurking arm. You want to have somebody that contribute a bit. Rhaegar with a totem build would also fit, but he has obviously been taken by the opponent. Ultralisk now looking in Murden for the team, and we have Cassia played by Nano. And well, Blackheart's Bay, so our final pick, the Exodia stack, as we're going into game number 1 of the best of 7 series. Let's see what exactly the red team is going to run as their final choice for game number 1. Blackheart's Bay, in and of itself, already a fun map, so it's going to be quite... I'm curious what they're going to try and do here. But the final weapon of choice is Malfurion. There is that follow-up route that I've been talking about after the taunt. And with that, we're ready for the grand final, ladies and gentlemen. The Murky Cup, the best of 7 series. Let's go. Game number 1, the best of 7 grand final, kicks off with Blackheart's Bay. On the left side, we have Gavlo on Tracer for the dudes. Bloodcool on Hogger. Ultralisk on Muradin. We get Banana H on Rhaegar. And Nano on Cassia for the team. Over on the right side of the map, the Exodia stack, currently with Hazops on Greymane, Copenhagen on Urel. We have Yazu on Malfurion, Bad Benny on Varian for that initial taunt that is going to set things up for the team. And then Bad Benny followed with Dainu, who is playing Genji in this game. So, who's going to go for the big doubloons? Who's going to be the one that comes in now and goes for all that booty? First of all, we're going to get some vision plays. Each of the teams with 4 heroes here as they're trying to make their plays. So, we're going to get a kill? Nah. But at the bottom of the map, we have our one-on-one with Hogger and Urel. But I seriously can't wait. I want to see how this is going to pan out now, because this is going to be great. We have right now a situation in which the Exodia stack is looking for that rematch. They wanted the rematch, they're getting the rematch, and the only question is, can they this time turn things around and take the dudes down? They have already played a series today, so they played a best of 5. Whereas the dudes could just watch all of those games, prepare a bit for the final match. And now they're pinning Benny down in the corner. The Stormbolt connects too. Body blocks are definitely a thing. And it's nearly a kill. But Varian survives. Down at the bottom of the map, there it's a play against Hogger, and he falls. So, nicely done. Benny survives at the top. Hogger dies at the bottom of the map. And that is first blood for the Exodia stack, as teams are starting to focus their attention onto some of the smaller camps to try and lock a few of the doubloons in. So, yep, time to grab some doubloons here. Chests are spawning as well, and Tracers, of course, absolutely fantastic when it comes to that particular play. You have such quick auto attacks that you burn a chest down within half a second. Greymane, for example, needs a little bit longer in order to get that done, and they are just taking over again. So a lot of doubloons in the hands of the dudes already. This is a pick. I mean, Tracer as a pick is already working well for them because they played her a lot in the past. They really like to play Tracer as a style, but it fits the map exceptionally well too, simply because they get access to these chests super easily, and that then helps them to come through with a turn-in if they can complete that, of course. Now, if you haven't seen Blackheart's Bay for a while, which is quite likely, note that after Blizzard decided that those fountains are now gonna be connected to the forts themselves, it also means that a turn-in destroys an entire fort, no matter what. So, if they turn in, then the fort in the middle gets destroyed. Previously, before that was the case, the fountain would always soak up one additional cannonball, and that would then result in the fort still standing. Especially when you played Abathon on the map, that meant you could start muling it up. Back in those days, obviously, there were multiple heroes that still had mule available. Tyrande and Malfurion being another few examples. But things have changed a lot since then. What hasn't changed, though, is that we still get quite a few spicy games with a lot of balloons on the line here between those teams. And, well, right now, the question is simply who's going to get the first turn in. Already, we're having Ultralisk attacked. He had 5 that he would have loved to turn in. But with Varian now also having access to taunt, you need to be mega careful when you move alone on the map. He's already sitting at the side here, so Bad Benny is just waiting for a few targets that he can attack to take him out. And here comes the fight. Gavlo mega low. Turns it around or tries to with a quick bomb, but here comes the rest of the red team. The Exodia stack, they want a few doubloons, they want to have a couple of kills. Ultralisk still low, waits for the trade to kick in. Both teams on level 4 talents, but the red team soon on 7. So if they want to fight this longer, then the blue team has to be pretty decisive about how they're playing this one. So they're slowly starting the retreat here. 17 doubloons, by the way, in their hands. They got so much. Not only the doubloons from those chests, but on top of that, they were also able to get a lot from the camps that we had on the map here. So, job well done. The problem is, you also have to turn all of that in. And that is currently the bigger problem for them. Holding the doubloons is nice, but this is not Tomb the Spider Queen, where once you lose your gems, they are lost for everyone. This is literally your opponent is stealing it away from you. And if that happens here, then things can go south very quickly. And it's a bit of a problem, and this is also one of the reasons why the red team is not just willing to sit there and say, well, we're not going to give any of that up. We're just going to make sure that nobody gets that turn in. Ultralisk is trying time and time again, so he's double checking and seeing, hey, what can I actually pull off here? But this is going to be quite tricky for them to do anything about it. And more chests are up. So what does that mean? Well, Tracer's moving in again and is taking a fair chunk of it. So now they have 25 doubloons. I mean, they're rich. They're definitely rich. But they're not able to turn in anything. There need to be a few kills. They need kills here, and they know it as well. So now another team fight is about to break out as everybody is focusing onto the middle of the map. It's going to be a mad brawl, and it's nasty. 7 doubloons have, by the way, been turned in by the red team, and they have another 12 that they're holding here. So it's actually kind of funny when you think about it, because despite the fact that it was the blue team that did way better on those chests, it is now the red team that gets the first cannonball barrage. And it takes, of course, the fort in the middle out. And since they already destroyed one of the towers, it will also do damage to the top fort. So a bit of extra damage is going to be done here. Still wild scenario right now. But I mean, kudos to the Exodia stack. So nicely played, well done. Teams are also looking at level 10 abilities that will soon come in for them. We have the perfect defense now on level 7. We have Skullcracker for Muradin, to name another example. And again, the brawl at the bottom of the map this time with level 10 now being ready. So the bullet is out. Tracer a bit low. Genji with his ult. They want the kill. And they get it on Cassia. Cassia is destroyed. They pick up a few of the doubloons here. Ultralis jumps out. He was able to save most of them at least. But this is now all over the place. And another potential turn-in for the red team. And they're going to get it, because it's a 4 versus 5 now. Both teams have level 10 abilities, but this is starting to get a bit nasty, because this is going to eliminate the top fort now. And more shots will be fired down towards the bottom of the map. So a lot of infrastructure is lost on the side of the dudes, as they're facing up against some serious issues here. They haven't gotten a kill so far. They haven't turned any doubloons in. They lost a small amount, still have an extremely large number, but they need to turn them in. They need to get a bit of a lead here on this, or they're going to get snowballed eventually, and this could definitely happen. So currently the Exodia stack probably feeling fairly confident here. They try to go for Benny. Here comes the shockwave. They try and drop him. Cassia with lots of damage, but it's actually Tracer that falls. Hey, pick him up, but there's the kill against Rhaegar. Now they go for Ultralis, but at least the dwarf is able to hop away. The problem still remains. They're losing more and more doubloons here. They're losing more and more ground. They're now at 22 that they're still holding. They haven't turned in a single doubloon the entire game. Huge problem. 4 kills to 0. The lead in experience is, of course, inevitable for the Exodia stack. And they have another 8 that they can turn in. And even more so here than compared to Tomb of the Spider Queen, where it's already important that you turn your gems in. Turning the balloons in is doubly important because, again, if you lose them, your opponent likely is going to grab them. But now they are securing a few more. Greyman is also trying to get another camp. 2 forts are already eliminated on the blue team side, which means that passive experience is now also much, much better for the Exodia stack than for the dudes. And the next turn-in could definitely happen. Blue team is realizing they gotta do something, but they're also close to having a talent disadvantage, since the blue team, or sorry, the red team will soon pick up the level 13 talent. And they will try to delay this just a little bit further to get that advantage, but here comes Blood Cool and he turns in. Alright, good for them. They get the turn-in just before 13 hits. This is going to eliminate the fort in the middle, so this is all gonna fall. Finally, a bit of a sign of life from the dudes, but they still haven't gotten a kill. Let's not forget about that. And there they are pushed again. Cassia with some damage. Nice. Dino slowed down. Tranquility. They go for Gavlo. Greymane. Recall. And the root from Malfurion puts an end to Tracer. There's still another taunt coming in, and the fight is not over by any means. Big wave, by the way, also at the top. Muradin is jumping out there, diving in deep. They really want this. Hogger is now poking around, misses the shockwave completely, and then gets punished a moment later for his bad aim. So that's the end of Hogger. Another one destroyed. They're stealing the Siege Giants, and as I said, at the top lane, this is also a disaster. This is the camp pushing in. 6 kills to 0 now. More and more structures get destroyed, and as usual, when you have an objective that directly attacks structures, every single structure you take out without using the objective is a huge benefit to you. Now, they don't even have to take these towers out that we just saw at the top. So that saves a few more cannonballs that they will directly target a keep later on in the game. Genji has now 30,000 damage. We have 22,000 for Cassia. And yep, things are starting to look a little bit grim here. This keep at the top lane, by the way, is now taking damage from the catapults too. They still haven't dealt with this. And we are early on in the game, granted. I mean, we're 10 minutes in, so those catapults are not really a massive problem yet. But this is still damage. This is still damage, and over time, this is still going to matter. I mean, the catapults have this now chunked down by, what, 25%? Maybe even 30 in a second. That's a lot of free damage. The tower's destroyed. Red team is trying to go for the boss at the top lane now too. So they're continuing with the pressure that they're executing here. And shot after shot is fired, which now in the middle of the map is also starting to severely damage the next keep. So with another turn-in and another barrage, we are likely going to see 2 keeps fall. Specifically, if they can pick up a few more doubloons here as well and set themselves even farther ahead with this. So yes, big problems for the dudes right now. The Exodia stack, they're just coming off a win in the losers bracket final, and they're currently continuing this trend, trying to make a few more plays here that would give them more. And there's a boss at the top lane, so this keep, you can kiss that goodbye. 16 talents, another advantage now for the team. It's kind of bananas. It's actually a little bit crazy here. So, well, with that, here comes the next little player in the team fight, but the 16 talent advantage is firmly in the hands of the red team. Topside keep is about to fall. At least the blue team got a turn in, so that's something, I suppose. It eliminates the topside fort, but one keep is about to be gone, thanks to the boss at the top lane, and here in the middle, they can also take this one out. So they're losing more and more ground here, but as the Exodia stack gone a little bit too deep, are they going to get punished here? Doesn't seem like it. It's a 5 versus 4. Boss is moving for the core now. Don't think that there's a real problem there. Core is not going to fall to this. But the keep in the middle is still getting poked slowly, steadily, and will fall. Even if it doesn't get destroyed here. That's a single cannonball that's needed in this situation. And there's another chest up that they can also still claim. They have 17 gems now. That's an easy turn-in. And once the turn-in happens, one cannonball is going to destroy the keep in the middle. And then it's going to focus to the bottom of the map. And this one is going to get destroyed too. There's no other structures down at the bottom of the map or anywhere else that will soak up some of these tower shots. So this is disastrous. This is a huge problem now for the dudes. If they want to have any chance of turning this game around, they need to step it up big time in the next few team fights and make their play here. And right now, it doesn't seem like they can. They're trying now. Tracer, though, in trouble, gets taunted. Careful. Murden also a bit low. Yeah, Avatar, 2-second cooldown. And they're getting Avatar at least, if they want it. Ultralisk is even playing with the cooldown here, not using it right away. Tracer had to move out, so the entire team is just trying to get out of the fight. But the Ancestral and Hogger, boy oh boy, just in time. Cassia, on the other hand, well, she's gone. All of the keeps are gone now. The next cannon barrage, if it even happens, will target the core directly. So many turn-ins from the team in red. I mean, Blackheart loves them. He absolutely loves them. They're giving him bounty, and even more bounty. Gavlo horsing back out here, trying to survive, but yeah, they're pinned down in their base now. I mean, absolutely pinned down. Now, next little playmate over on the left side as more siege giants are now being taken. We're also having Dino making a move at the top for the smaller pirate camps. So he's getting those as well. And down here, yeah, you see Greymane just moving in for the next camp, of course, as well. So, yeah, I don't know. If this is a fantastic start into the series for the Exodia stack. This is exactly what they want here. An utter dominant performance. Guys, again, to put this in perspective, not a single doubloon was... sorry, that's actually not true. They got 2 turn-ins, my bad. They didn't get a single kill. There we go. There we go. Not one kill for the blue team, and now they have siege giants and also the first few catapults on the core that they have to deal with. Shield is going to go down. This thing is likely going to take damage, but they have to guard the middle because now there's enough doubloons in the hands of their opponents that they can end the game with a simple turn-in. That's exactly what they're going to be aiming for. So the core is about to take damage on the blue team side because everybody is forced into the middle of the map. Yeah, siege giants playing around with the minion wave a little bit. Catapult griefing. That is not moving around the Siege Giants as usual. But here's the next big fight, and this one is going to decide the game most likely. Gavlo! Yeah, they don't get the Ancestral on Tracer in time. She dies again. Tracer is gone once more. Third death for her. And it doesn't stop there. It just continues. Ultralisk is getting targeted and has to jump out. That leaves the rest of the team vulnerable. Rhaegar dropped. The core is already falling. And they don't even need the turn in. 3 kills, 4 kills, 5-man team wipe. As the first game of the best of 7 gets decided by the Exodia stack. Or by the Winions, depending on how you're looking at it. 13 kills to 0 and a big statement in the first map of this one. As we have a winner, the Exodia stack. They take the 1-0, the victory in Blackheart's Bay, and therefore the lead in the grand final. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Blackheart's Bay, bit of a stomp I gotta say, so maybe the wake-up call that the dudes needed. Reminder, they were the team that was highly successful in the winner bracket final when they eliminated the Exodia stack and sent them into the losers bracket. But currently, the Exodia stack has not only won the first map, but they also have pretty much stomped. Now, Blackheart's Bay can be a little bit snowbally. I pointed out some of the reasons as we were in the game. Everything centering around the middle. Once you start winning team fights, you get a bit ahead there too. But still, here on Alderac Pass, the blue team has to start shifting things up a bit and turning things around here. If they can, that's the big question, so we'll see. But we get, in terms of bans now, Johanna removed. Keep in mind, the 10 heroes that were currently played on the final map, or on the last map, cannot be played again. So that's already 10 heroes removed. Doesn't make a big difference now on map number 2, but again, as we're progressing through the series, this is going to change for sure. Now, Blaze and Johanna are both eliminated now. I could also see completely that, for example, the Exodia stack at some point just decides, you know what, guys, we're actually ahead now. We have a 2-0 lead, for example, or maybe it's like a 3-0, depending on how things develop. We're gonna go for another bounty. And if they actually do that, if they decide that this is the way to go, then we might see something again where they're just saying, you know what, we're going Gazlo again. And they lost twice already with the Gazlo bounty. So, yeah. That might influence the grand final. Not quite sure what the priority is for them now. Or if they just say, like, you know what, it's victory here. We don't want to give an opponent, even when we're heavily ahead, a chance to get back into the series. So yeah, time will tell. Diablo Junkrat to kick things off here on Alderac Pass. We have the map very early, so plenty still around. You could go for a couple of globals here with ease as well. Brightwing gets taken first on the side of the blue team. And, well, now we have blue team with a double pick, and they go false start, so we get some globals. And we have, actually I have a lot of globals. We have Brightwing and we have false start. We get Nubarak too. And Nubarak can sneak the objective, so can come in, spawn a couple of beetles, and then do his thing here. Okay. Also, with the Nubarak running Cocoon, if you have Gust, you can isolate targets. So, Cocoon into Gust is another nice comp that is pretty sweet. But they need follow-ups on this. Brightwing, obviously, would be one, but the damage will be interesting what they choose here. Chromie is eliminated, so Nano is obviously a very strong Chromie player. Therefore, his Chromie is banned away from him. Also, they banned out Maiev. Final choice here. Now that we have Diablo and Junkrat, what exactly are the dudes gonna get rid of? That's the next question. And, well, a little bit of hesitation here as well. I honestly don't know either. Side lane, I mean, they could really target the side lane a bit. But then again, now that I think about it, since they haven't picked their own side laner yet either, that would just them going for a bit of an own goal. They would limit their own pool and their own set of options. So now we're getting Sergeant Hammer removed instead, with a lot of displacement that gets used there from the Exodia stack. Not a horrible choice by any means. See that quite a lot when a team uses a lot of displacement options that can keep someone like Hammer safe, that she gets banned out, and that's exactly what we have now too. But yeah, final 2 picks now. Sylvanas. Ooh. Sylvanas Samuro, meaning that you can actually start pushing one lane with Samuro, and then Sylvanas is with the rest of the team and makes some plays there. So, yeah, that is gonna get a bit... This is gonna get difficult. This can get really difficult. So... that could get wild. I mean, they have false stats, so they can at least respond to it a little bit. If they go to Haka too, then they have a double global, but they use Sonya instead. Could even go Leap here, so after a Nubarak engage with stun, they follow up with Sonya on this. But I gotta say that there is potential for some very heavy macro plays from the Exodia stack they could now try and use. So, Yasuo, final choice, final pick. What's the weapon? Well, he needs to go for support, obviously. Still a bit of follow-up on Diablo and Junkrat would be nice. But this is already... I mean, there's alarm bells ringing everywhere right now when you're seeing Sylvanas and Samura. They go for Ana. Okay, that's going to be Eye of Horus for them. That gives them a bit more global control too on the heals. This could get really wild and interesting. All direct pass. Second map, everybody. So let's head straight in and see if the Exodia stack can extend the lead, or if the dudes are now locking in their first victory in this best of 7 grand final. Game number 2! The Exodia stack, ladies and gentlemen. In the lead after Blackheart's Bay. Now we find ourselves on Aldrich Pass, and over on the left side it is the dudes, with definitely the need to step it up a little bit. Gavlo on Anubarak. We got Banana H on Brightwing. We have Bloodcool on Sonya. Nano is playing Hanzo. And Ultralisk on Falstad. To the right side of the map, the Exodia stack with Hazobs on Junkrat. We get Bad Benny on Diablo. Dino with Sylvanas. So Copenhagen plays Samuro, which means that with Sylvanas and Copenhagen Samuro, we can actually do a lot here with split pushing. And then Yasuo, last but not least, is playing Ana. They're already trying to cover the situation a little bit. I mean, the idea here being that you want to figure out where exactly Sylvanas is going to push, because if you don't pay attention here, then she is going to get a tower for free, and that's exactly what they were hoping for in the middle of the map. Now top side with Falstad and with the Nubarak, there was always an opportunity for the blue team to do the same, and as it happens, that's exactly what they did. So they were able to take a tower here too, and the macro games are starting up immediately. This is exactly what we expected here. With the heroes that were chosen, it was pretty obvious that they would all try for some sneaky plays like this. And this is happening right from the get-go. So no playing around, no later stages or anything around it. Nope, they're immediately starting to make their plays for structures, trying to nibble away at those, at the walls. And of course, after the 1 minute mark, also another priority becomes very quickly the camp on the left side or the right side for the red team. Samura is now down at the bottom of the map, starting to prep the lane up as well. Has gone into Way of Illusion as his level 1 talent. So with the build, I think this is going to get pretty crazy, pretty quickly. I cannot, not for a second will I believe that this is going to be a boring game. With Dino potentially split pushing, with Samuro doing the same, with globals like Ultralisk trying to execute on that. And then potentially a leap follow-up on a Nubarak's engage after we have level 10 abilities. This should get spicy. So, yeah, time will tell. I mean, for now, we don't have a kill yet, but we have teams already trying to make those little plays that I talked about earlier. So they're going to be looking for more aggression around that. Nano is the first one to fall, and the Exodia stack is coming in swinging here, don't they? Well, they are just continuing where they left off on the last map. Now, I would still assume that we are eventually going to get also a couple of kills for the blue team here. It would be quite a surprise if after defeating the Exodia stack in the winner bracket final, they're not able to play on eye level with them in the grand final. But yeah, crazier things have of course happened. So, let's see. I mean, for now, just a couple of small skirmishes that we're getting. Grenade build gets continued. On level 4 we get Deflection. Both teams have level 4 abilities. Ultralisk is still pressuring Junkrat at the top lane. And down at the bottom of the map, Samuro is still pushing. And by the way, I talked of course during the draft that that Nubarak is one of the heroes that can easily start cheesing the camp a little bit. And he's already getting in position for potentially that. But let's not forget that Samuro can actually do the same thing. So Samuro is in a spot where he can do exactly the same. He can move over to a camp, he can spawn a couple of illusions and can start the channel. So it's not like we only have one team that can make that particular play and try and get a bit nasty around this. So both of the teams will have to be vigilant around that camp to make sure that this isn't happening to them. But, well, right wing is now at the bottom of the map. Most of the action happening in the middle at this point. And, yeah, again, still trying to get their kills here. It's mostly about the camps that we've seen taken. So they're taking camps and then they're trying to defend that, but that also forces more heroes straight into the middle. And with that, then, of course, we have the follow-up attacks and the little team fights that we're getting between them. Now with level 7 talents for both teams, there are a few opportunities to maybe make a play for the prisoners, but they haven't seen it yet. Grenade build now more or less continued and completed with the level 7 talent that kicked in. This placement from Junkrat is bouncing everybody around again. And on top of that, we're seeing them aim for the prisoners, trying to safeguard them and getting the initial lead on this. The interrupts are still happening as both Sonya and Anubarak are channeling. And at the bottom, Sylvanas hasn't even moved towards the middle in order to help out because her goal was the entire time to go for more of a split push. Ultralisk gets chunked a bit, but is not panicking. So is playing this cool and calm. And while that was a thing, we have the rest of the attacks also continued, specifically in the middle. Most of the fights so far have centered around the mid lane pretty heavily here. I mean, Falstad's still at the bottom of the map. Goal and idea obviously still the same for him. Try and push this out and see if he can get some global value by joining team fights late. But since Dino's not even moving away from the bot lane, hasn't really gotten a lot out of this. Not a lot of kills so far. I mean, when it comes to kills, we haven't seen a whole lot happen here yet. So they're chasing Anubarak a little bit at the top. The idea is still to try and get an even bigger lead on the objective. So far, not the case. But with Diablo moving in, they can still force Gavlo into a fight. Yasuo! Nice dodge by Anubarak. Yeah, that sleep dart could have potentially spelled out the end for him. But he was able to get out of that. So yeah, good for him. Now, still trying to get to level 10. It's actually kind of wild. Nobody has really gone for any big team fights around the objective yet. They're waiting for level 10 with this. Oftentimes it's level 7 where things start to kick off pretty aggressively. But that's not quite the case here. So now we have Apocalypse. We have also Riptire. Eye of Horus, as already called early. And here's level 10 for the opponent. But the channel is happening. Ah, well, it's gonna happen now. Could still interrupt it. No leap, by the way. Breath of the Berserker. So the channel and the interrupt with Cocoon is a bit too late. So they might actually get this one. Sylvanas kills Falstad at the bottom of the map. So gets a solo kill against him. Very nicely done by Dino. Up at the top, they're trying to stop the objective. Sleep Data's connected. And can they take it? Well, that might be it. They claim it. Junkrat is annoying as hell and is able to delay them long enough so that we get the Raiders for the red team. The Exodia stack with the first objective of the game. They're already hiding at the top. They have Sylvanas down at the bottom of the map. Dino has to actually retreat for now because he didn't have anything left. Hit points, mana after that solo kill that he got against Falstad, who by the way is back on the map now. But yeah, the objective, they've gotten it anyways. They've gotten the objective, they've done everything that they want to do with this. And so far, things are looking fairly good for them again. Exodia stack with 2 kills to 0. Still not a single kill for the blue team, which is actually kind of wild. It's 2 games now where we haven't seen a kill for them. So they need to change that. Can you imagine if this game ends without a kill for the blue team? That would be ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. So yeah, we're not there yet, of course. But that would be bonkers. That would be the worst case scenario for them. Looking at the damage output, we have 19,000 for Hanzon. There it is. Thank you. Finally a kill on the board. So, yep, they're able to get the kill. So, that's already happening. 1 kill on the board for the team. Sonya has a lot of room at the bottom of the map, by the way. And is now currently doing some damage at least. But is also fully aware that there's some slowly starting to come in here. And help out with that. Yep. So Bloodpool is actually rushing away. The top they still need to defend. One fort has gone down. That's all that they were able to get out of the objective, essentially. And inexperience is not a big lead. I mean, it's not like anybody is massively ahead or anything here. So, yeah, right now, they're still all just trying to figure out where the next play is going to be made. And down at the bottom of the map, they're currently doing exactly that by moving in here and attempting to destroy the bot lane fort. Some damage at least is being done. But in comes another play with the Apocalypse, trying to get the combo set up properly. So far, so good. 13 talents, a little bit faster now for the blue team. It's actually interesting. They are in the lead in experience. Fawcett isn't here. He's at the top lane. He's still pushing. He's still making a play in there. And he might get the fort for the team. Arrow at the bottom misses. Hanzo not able to connect it, but they're still trying to follow up to get a kill on Bad Benny. They can't take him down though. And Nubarak nearly destroyed, and Sonya gets blown to pieces by the final grenade that Junkrat threw out. Nano jumped away, so he escaped. He at least was able to get out there. But the fight is not over yet. After Fawcett destroyed the top, he's now flying down to the bottom of the map. Gets the gust angle against Samuro, but they lose Hanzo, and now Ultralisk is fully exposed here. He's not going to be able to escape. Tries to dart away, but of course it is inevitable that he's going to get killed too. Gets buried in the forest. And as they're already at the boss, you know, why not go for it? 5 kills to 1 now. And even with the top fort destroyed by Falstad, this is still pretty amazing for the red team. Okay, Benny gets attacked here real quickly and actually stunned out by the boss, but they're still able to get that easily. So, yeah, well, interesting development that we actually have here, because it seems like it's actually a bit interesting, because generally speaking, you're looking at what's happening right now. We had an objective for the red team. We have them about to destroy another fort at the bottom of the map. They're not that far ahead in experience. It's actually kind of wild. That should change soon. I don't really see a world in which they are now soon going to be able to do a lot more damage on all of this. So, yeah, sorry, widen the gap between the two of them, especially with level 16 talents coming up. Could also make a play now for the next objective, of course. We have essentially all of the forts destroyed. The one in the middle is the exception. This is the one where they could still go for it. Also at the top, Benny tries to bait Ultralisk over a bit. That could happen. Ultralisk, right wing, yeah, and the gust. Immediate gust as they realize what's happening. Dino gets attacked here, Sonya's coming in, and that little trap backfired. Yeah, Dino's gone. So they were trying to outsmart them a little bit, and it backfired completely on them. I liked the trap, but I also liked the reaction. Ultralisk didn't hesitate for even a second. He immediately used his gust, pushed that back, and then they were able, you know, to just get ahead on this a bit. So, yep, nicely done. Well played. And, of course, now the opportunity to... Oh, and Nubarak engage into Big Arrow from Hanzo. Nice. Yep, very, very nicely done here. But still, we couldn't get the kill. I like the combo, though. I like that they were able to just combo that up that quickly. But they need more damage in these situations. So the attempt is definitely there to bring this back. They're trying the hardest they can to get back into that game. They don't want to have a repetition of game number 1. And as I said before, they are not looking that horrible on experience. If you look at the experience distribution here, hero experience, they're trailing. Mercenary experience, they're trailing. Minion experience, very different story. That's really where they're making up for a lot of the problems that they have so far during the series. So, yeah, this is... I mean, this could be way worse for them. So, good job by them to at least be able to get onto a decent footing when it comes to the lane control. They have 2 globals, so that helps. Ultralisk is double checking what's going on at the top 2. So he wants to ensure that there's no additional boss that gets claimed right now. Despite all the nice moves that are being made by the blue team, if they really, really want to have a shot of bringing this back, then they need to start winning a few more team fights. 2 kills are just not enough in the situation that they're in right now. So they need to have more than that. But, well, either way, we now have with level 16 Epicenter which is going to help them a little bit. Airy Gust also ready. And Falstad is going for that side lane push. We've talked a lot about how they are going to control or try to control the macro game. And it's mainly, of course, the red team with Samora and with Sylvanas. But it's now also Falstad that's continuously trying to at least get some side lane value. Talking about value. Even with the ult popped on Ana, the kill against that Benny at the bottom of the map could not be prevented by the Exodia stack. So now we have Benny back up because obviously he was fully stacked with souls, but at the same time there's a bit of an opportunity to exploit the fact that Diablo is now a weak hit. So no, not so terrifying anymore, that Lord of Terror. Structurally, since the fort was just destroyed, they are now dead even too. So yeah, this is way more like it. 3 kills to 5, and I guess overall I would still say the blue team is doing a bit worse than their opponents, but they are on most of the numbers now on eye level. The problem is more so that it really feels like most of the big moves are being made by the Exodia stack. They're kind of making the big plays right now, and you kind of can tell. So yeah, but again, play after play after play is currently being made here. And Diablo goes down. Diablo goes down. Now they're trying for Sonya, and she's dead too. So they're exchanging kills at this point. Kill for a kill that we're getting here. And of course, the next question then would be, what is going to happen with that second objective? Because all of these fights are centering around prisoner camps on the red team side. That's the big problem for the blue team. Every single fight centers around that, and then once they lose those battles, they just lose the objective. They find themselves again being pushed back, and they're struggling with this. They really are. More structures are likely going to fall now. Well, or maybe not, because Ana gets caught at the top and she gets killed. So that's the support gone, and Junkrat has no chance escaping on his own here. It's just not happening. So Junkrat is down too. At least in the middle, they can maybe that. Yeah. Come on, one guy, one guy. Okay, it's Dino. Yeah, Dino gets. Okay, he gets it. That would have been the biggest meme of them all if he missed it. If he wouldn't have been able to take that out, comes in, tries to be cute about it, and then drops. But with level 20 talents kicking in for the blue team, look at what we're getting. We get Epic Mount for Falstad. So Falstad is now fully aware that this might come down to him using his global on the map, and he adjusts his build accordingly. No Mighty Gust upgrade, but instead we're getting Epic Mount. So, boss at the top is about to be attacked, and they have, I mean, they know, but they can't do anything because it's a 3 versus 5 right now, so they just have to let that slide. With Storm Talons getting ready on the red team side too. That means now we have Diablo with Hellgate, we have Sylvanas with the Bolt of the Storm, we're getting 3-bladed style. But yeah, the boss at the top could become a problem right now. This one is going to, well, it's going to open up the wall, I guess. So, gonna open up the wall, probably not really more than that. I guess that's gonna be the extent of it here. But then again, we're seeing the same play made at the bottom. So they're going for a double boss play thanks to the double kill that they got while the objective was up for the opponent. That's really the crazy thing about it. The objective did very little because of that. So Falstad flying towards the top to go for Benny. Immediately the ult again from Ana, but I don't think that's going to help Diablo. He's trying to push that out and will eventually die. Benny gets caught. He's down for the entire duration. Here in the middle, Wall is gonna lose some hit points, might even fall against the camp, but now that they have the numbers advantage again, the dudes can start to be way more aggressive here. So this is getting, I mean, honestly, it's looking better and better and better with every single play that's being made for the blue team. I mean, over and over. So right now, as we have the fort in the middle attacked too, we see the boss being defended down at the bottom of the map. That was the final one that was still there. Not really anything else that they can currently do. Brightwing is controlling the top a little bit. Diablo down for another 25 seconds. So right here, the chance to go for a camp and sorry, the objective, and that's 18 minutes in. So a little bit better for them. 18 minutes into the game. That's definitely something where you can start things up with. And then the chance to, yeah, maybe take the keep down. They need the fort. If they can take the keep too, it would be great. But, yeah, we'll see how successful they're gonna be with this. 4 now. Again, things are not looking too bad. But let's see what they can do. First of all, they have to make sure that they're losing in the team fight, because that was exactly the problem that the red team had the last time they got it. So yeah, while they are still charging up, your boys on those lanes, you want to make sure that you're not losing a hero. And yeah, right now they're still alright. So at the top, another tower is going to be destroyed by the Winions. So that's the next one. But it's time to really face the music now. Late game baby, level 20 on both sides, and now the big opportunity for the dudes to maybe get ahead here. First they gotta take that fort out, but of course the goal is to get way more than that. Get the first keep, remove an armor shield from the core, and make your play there. When it comes to damage, well, we're having 45,000 from Sylvanas, 43,000 from Hanzo, and Falstad with Epic Mount, already aggressive at the bottom of the map. Again, can always change lanes very, very quickly. But that keep is gone. That keep it, yeah, they can't save this anymore. The Raider alone, or the Cavalry, is going to take that out. So that's the first armor shield remove. So now they're slightly ahead here. They've taken a slight lead on this. And the only question is, can they follow up on that, or is the Exodia stack able to turn the entire thing around again and flip it on its head? Which I definitely would not put past them. They've shown it so many times now in the past. So, yeah, there's a shot that they are able to do exactly that. Give them one good team fight, and they're going to come in swinging again and absolutely make a pay for that. So, yeah, bot lane is open now. Next objective, that might become the next objective where we're going to see those plays. The boss, for example, is up in another minute. So that's still something that they can play around with. Yeah, Khaldor is already sitting at the side. I mean, their engage plays have worked. The engage plays for them have really worked so far. 7 kills to 6 now. Currently, Copenhagen down at the bottom of the map. He hasn't had that big of an impact on the side lane as I really expected. I thought he would be one of the heroes that would be continuously on structures and just go full red Dota on them. And that hasn't really happened the way that I expected. Ultralist now has also the heavy mobility with Falstad and Epic Mount that he could always react to those plays. But I really thought that Samuro would make more of a dent into all of this, which wasn't really a thing. So now we have Copenhagen at the bottom. I mean, he's still a nuisance, don't get me wrong. I just thought that he would be way more impactful there. Blue team is already gathering up at the top. Yeah, and since the red team is fully showing and now pushing for structures, they have to abandon that attempt. So yeah, that idea to go for the boss at the top had to be abandoned immediately. Falstad flies, starts to gust, has to barrel roll away, and does. Arrow beautifully connecting with Junkrat, but they still can't get the kill. Hellgate to start the retreat as they're slowly moving away from this. But Samuro pushed the bot lane out. Now we're talking. That's the kind of play I wanted to see from Samuro. So he is able to get that kill for the team. Really well done. But at the top, they're also losing a few hit points on the top side keep. So Samuro is doing now exactly the type of play that I wanted to see here. And yeah, we'll see what they can do to turn this around. But currently, down at the bottom of the map, Banana Age still hoping to ensure that the camp is not getting started by Samuro too, because that threat is still there for both teams, by the way. One with Anubarak and the other one with Samuro. So both have the chance at the end of the day to try and sneak in an advantage if the rest of the team is somewhere else. With Anubarak it's a little bit more difficult because he needs to be part of the team, of course. He needs to be here and ensure that he is in the 4-man, in the 5-man. Samuro has a bit more global mobility that he can utilize, so you have to guard your spot around the prisoner camp. I mean, outside of that, looking at damage numbers again and also siege damage, 250,000 now for Sylvanas and 210,000 for Falstad. Very likely the next big fight decides the game. Each team has a keep destroyed, 1 armor shield removed from the core, and in addition to that, also damaged a second keep. So you can either go for core directly if you get a lot of kills, or you can just, after you win the team fight, go for the second keep that you've already damaged previously, and then try and follow up on the core. Those are the options right now. Riptire, not that much of a big deal, but look at Falstad and Samuro. This is the problem right here. Yeah, this is it. Embrace the dark side. Embrace it. We have cookies. Yeah, coming in and making some real nice moves for that. I actually really like the way that Samuro is now playing this one. Yeah, this is really fun. Well, not for the blue team, but it's definitely fun for us to watch it. And it's honestly what I expected as this started up. So, yep, pretty sweet. Anyways, down at the bottom of the map. There's a lot of siege damage that she just snuck in there too. Burn that wave to the ground within half a second. But talking about burning things down, they're trying to sneak the boss. That would go for the core on that lane. And they're taking it. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting one now. I think the core can defend against this one by itself. Ooh, you can't lose Khaldor here. Goes for rewind. Arrow. Stun after stun after stun. And Anna ruined nearly all of it. Anna with insanely well-timed actions. And now Sonya is the one that falls. By the way, big wave also at the top here. Just saying. So yes, Anna did actually fantastic right now. Anna at this point, active reload was already in there. And then with the smelling salts, she really kept them alive here. Without her, I think we could have seen both heroes fall. But they are able to pull that off again and win that little fight. So now we have a 5 versus 4. They have to still defend the core a little bit. But they can also make a play for the objective and try to get ahead here. 7 kills to 7. We're 25 minutes into the game right now. 25 minutes in. We're going for the distance on this one. So here comes the next play. They have control and they're gonna get the objective. Without Sonya here, there is no chance to stop that from happening. Sonya will be back, I guess, in time. But not really. I wonder if they are trying to go for the boss. It seems like they're trying to go for the topside boss. I mean, they're signaling this already, but this is 16 seconds. So some shots are being fired. Ana is already annoying, but the boss is going to be claimed. And of course, the first reaction of the red team is to simply move into the middle and take the keep out. I mean, immediately. They want the objective. They know that the objective is very likely going to win them the game here. Topside boss is going to go through the keep, and that's going to be annoying. But the blue team is in way more trouble. The Exodia stack. What a game, by the way. After game number 1, I mean, seriously, what a game. Now we have the Raider spawn, and it seems like they're trying to defend against the boss again. 26 minutes in, and we have the next attack up at the top. Oh boy. So, 7 to 7 on the kill count. Boss gets attacked. And the defense against the objective. They're just trading. I feel like I'm on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We have essentially an objective against a boss. This is kinda nuts. I wonder when we have the final big fight happening. They still have 1 Raider left. If they can somehow escort this through and take the keep at the top out, that would of course give them... I mean, it would basically win them the game if you think about it. Because once that your core doesn't have a single armor shield anymore, that's when you... I mean, it's nearly impossible to defend that, especially this late in the game. And also against Samuro, who keeps pushing these lanes out. And, well, the defense is just too fast. Way too fast. So, 7 to 7. This is a wild one. This is really a wild game right now. Look at the damage numbers on Siege. 327,000 for Sylvanas. 230,000 for Samuro. 270,000 for Falstad. 1 armor shield is all that they have left. Bottom boss up in a minute. Topside boss 3 minutes. So, yep. Slowly and steadily, things are getting a bit nuts over here. Falstad still defending, doing the best that he can on defense on this. Oh, well, Birdie! And Ultralisk is alive! How is he alive? Ultralisk made it out of the fight. That could have been game right there. Junkrat gets attacked now. And Nubarak has to turn it around and auto-attack him. Falstad flies in and gets the kill. He gets the kill and survives. Junkrat is gone, and now they take Ana down. This could be the end right here. No counter kill just yet. Falstad is moving away. Prisoner Camp is unlocking. 9 kills to 7. Diablo dies 2. He had his soul stacks up, so at least that. But now they're in real trouble. Objective if they want it, easy. Boss if they want it, easy. At this point, you can just try and farm everything. Dino and Copenhagen, they're still gonna try and stick around here because they know they can attempt to push this. 28 minutes into the game. 29 minutes. And they go for the bot lane. They want the boss here. They know that they have to make a play right now. It's a 5 versus 3 on the map. There's still a few plays that can be made here. But once that the boss is taken, they kind of have to go for it. I mean, it's only 1 armor shield that got removed on the red team's core, of course. But if you have a 29-minute boss, you gotta do something. Gavlo with a stun. They're trying to slow them down here. Red team, of course, desperately trying to find any kind of angle that they can use. Go for the objective. Go for a kill. Do anything. But there's nothing left for them. Top side, huge push for the keep. Could even take it out. But now they're trying to go down to the bottom of the map and end the game right here, right now. And they have a shot at that. Of course, with only 1 armor shield removed, that's not going to be easy. But you have a boss, you have your 5-man. Diablo doesn't have any stacks on his baseline right now. So he is a lot weaker. Riptire to take the minion waves out, but they gotta win it right here or they're gonna lose it in the long run. They need kills though. They need something. Riptire just dancing around here. They're trying to bait them in. Boss is at half HP. They're not able to do it. They're not able to do it. That's insane. And they'll just lose their top side keep now. Top keep is gone. 10 kills to 7. They got 3 kills against the red team. And they're not able to finish it. Falsa is flying in, takes the camp. But again, the problem still the same. Even with these massive, massive minion waves coming in. With 2 armor shields on the core, it's not a problem. So, right now, we have a team that has... I mean, again, I don't even know what else they could have done. Go for the objective, I guess, instead of the boss. They were trying to go for the boss and end the game with it, and it didn't work out. Could have maybe gone for the objective here, but yeah, here comes it. Okay, it's over. Anubarak is gone. This is over. No armor shield on your core. This has to be game. This has to be it. No frontliner, and your core doesn't have a single armor shield. I'm honestly wondering why they even go for the objective. I mean, better safe than sorry, I suppose. Fair enough, fair enough. But without a single armor shield, even if they just moved in, I think they could end it here. Falstad is desperately trying, they know of course too. Ana is down, they gotta kill it. I cannot believe this game. Ultralisk, how are you alive? Ultralisk is alive and they get another kill. You are shitting me. How is this even possible? They killed Anubarak and then the blue team wins a 4 versus 5. And somehow slows the game down again. This is insane. Guys, we are 32 minutes into this. This is ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous. I cannot believe what's going on here. They're defending their core still. They go for the boss at the top. The next attack is coming. Are they trying to set a record for the longest game in competitive play, or what's happening? Riptire is out. Diablo and Ana are both gone. It's a 5 versus 3. They jump into the back. Falstad has to be a bit cautious. Junkrat with 1 barrage after another. And now still the push against the core through this. Boss is taken though. They take the boss. The top side keep is gonna be gone. But I don't even know what's happening here any longer. 12 kills to 8 and we're now 33 minutes into the game. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We are on 27. We're on 27 at this point. I mean, Diablo... Okay, he's gone. I said like 5 times already this is over, but it has to be over. I mean, at some point it needs to be over. They're trying to end it right here. Ana gets killed. Ana is down, but they need to make sure that the core survives. If they can save their core, they win. But this is the push that I expected earlier. And now it might be too late. The dude's on the move. The core is low, but it's not gone. It's a 5-man team wipe. And they save the core with 3,400 hit points. Over on the right side, the boss is slowly hammering it into the ground. And that is gonna be game. Yep, we have a tie after 2 games. Winning time, the birdies flying in for the final picture. And that is a victory for the dudes on all direct pass. The series is tied with an insane second map as we move to game number 3. Game number 3, Towers of Doom. Let's go, guys. The dudes against the Exodia stack. And after the last map, I mean, ridiculous. I honestly still don't know how that game didn't end at least 5 minutes earlier. It was with 35 minutes, roughly, one of the longest games in competitive play that I've seen in ages. Just nuts. First I thought, okay, blue team has it, that's a win. Then they again get defeated on the attack and have to retreat. All of a sudden the red team is in a spot where they can end it, and it just goes back and forth the entire time. Totally crazy. So now we're heading into the third game of the best of 7 series, and we have Maiev and also Blaze right away banned out. Now again, quick reminder, 20 heroes have been played, 20 heroes cannot be picked again therefore. We talked a little bit between the games also about the possibility of seeing bounties here. I honestly don't really think that teams are willing to risk it before we're hitting, let's say, game 6, if it comes to that. Maybe game 7. Because we have more than 30 bounties now completed in total overall by all the teams participating here. Which means that a bounty at this point, if you complete it, gives you something between $30 and $40. So while that is kind of nice, it's not really something where I personally would risk losing the series because you give a game to your opponent. Let's just say the Exodia stack, for example, gives Gazlo another chance. They tried the bounty already 2 times, they failed twice. Do you really in the grand final try that again? Maybe if you're in the lead with a 3-1 and it goes to game number 5. But at this point, I would be very surprised to see that happen. Time will tell though. Either way, Jojo and Dehaka as the opening bid for the dudes now. So Dehaka for the top lane, we're gonna get that side lane soak from him and then engaging into the team fights at the bottom of the map whenever he's needed there. Johanna, also nice choice, and we get Copenhagen with the Vikings. Yeah, it's not only... Well, I suppose they're still gonna swap that over. Not quite sure if it's really going to be Copenhagen that plays them. Traditionally, you would think that Khaldor is going to be the one to play the Vikings here. But note also when they got picked. They picked the Vikings before the 3rd ban because they knew that there's a high chance that on this map, on Towers of Doom, the Vikings get banned against the Exodia stack. So they have to show their cards early because of it. Normally, that is one of those picks that you try and get late. But yeah, Uther picked by Yasu. Vikings, obviously, not a bounty for the team. We have a longboat bounty, but the Exodia stack completed that already in the 1st or the 2nd qualifier. So they played multiple Viking games. They actually played a Viking game today, if I'm not mistaken, in the 1st series that we got. And Towers of Doom is one of the maps where they do it the most. So right now, 0 bounty attempts on those teams. With the bans, Medivh gets taken out here. But what's going to be the reaction right now from the dudes? And also, what are we getting for Benny, for example, after Garrosh has now been banned? So, yeah, another one. Anyways, over on the left side, the blue team, after they locked in their front line. Support is also not really a problem for them. Gul'dan and Anduin. Okay, so we get the Crybaby. And we got Nano and Gul'dan. Chromie taken away from him is also nice. This time it wasn't banned. So, yeah, Nano would have loved to play Chromie at some point in the series, but since now she's been taken by the Exodia stack, it also automatically means that she won't be available for the rest of the match, and therefore, no chance for Nano to play that hero. But, the final 2 picks, Benny needs to make a decision at the front line. They go for Stitches, and we get Thrall. So, with Thrall, they can lock a target down further. They have Uther for a stun, so after a hook and a potential Gorge even, we have follow-ups with Chromie delivering the burst damage. And then Ultralisk, the final weapon of choice here. We need some more damage. Could even go for something crazy like Zeratul here to farm the Vikings a little bit. Would also help with the Void Prison against Stitches potentially. I mean, again, I don't really think that Zeratul is necessarily the best option, but it's definitely one of the options that they could choose. They go for mages though. Double mage even. Going for Li Ming for resets. Now, she has to be very careful with the Vikings. Initially, you always think she's a fantastic counter against the Vikings, but this flips after 16 when the Vikings are starting to hunt Li Ming. So, Towers of Doom, everybody. Game number 3. Let's see who takes the lead in the best of 7. Third game of the series with Gavlo for the blue team on Johanna this time. Bloodcool on the Haka. Banana Age is playing Anduin. We got Nano on Gul'dan and Ultralisk is playing Li Ming. Ether Walker as the level 1 choice. We have... Can somebody explain to me, by the way, if this talent got renamed? It was called Ether Walk, right? I'm not insane. I called this Ether Walk for years. Nobody corrected me. So I believe more that they renamed it than that I just blanked for years and years and years. And it was always called Ether Walker, not Ether Walk. Like, I'm actually doubting my own sanity at this point. Hazorps on the right side with the Vikings. We have Bad Benny on Stitches, Copenhagen on Thrall, Dainu on Chromie, and Yasu is playing Uther. Let's go. Honestly, if it was called Ether Walker the entire time, then I blame the audience. I'm going full Skinner meme on you guys, because if nobody pointed that out, then, yeah, like, I don't know what's going on here. You people just don't pay attention. Anyways, Stitches with Hungry for More as his level 1 choice. We're gonna get the big boy if he is able to get a few more stacks in. And Gavlo down at the ball gets hooked right away and put into a corner. And that's a kill. Nice. So we have the Exodia stack with kill number 1 in the game. Easy one. I would not have expected that to happen. I mean, you get the hook and you're like, oh yeah, congratulations, you actually hooked somebody. But having that kind of follow-up and then seeing Johanna pinned down into a corner the way that they just did and get the perfect angle for all of their attacks, that was well executed by the Exodia stack and a well-deserved first kill for them too. So yes, nicely done. They go for the camp though, and the blue team is actually able to steal it away. Might have lost the hero, but they're at least able to grab that. Benny is trying to connect a few more hooks on this one and hopes to get them out of position. Level 4 talents are also going to get interesting because I still expect that Thrall is going for a stack quest. And then the question is, how quickly is he going to be able to complete that? Can they shut him down a bit, or will Copenhagen have no problem getting the Frostful pack completed? Nano not going for a Drain build, coming in with Pursuit of Flame on level 1, so we're going to get a Fell Flame build from him. Both of the camps now taken by the blue team, and here is, as expected, Frostwolf pack, and he instantly gets a triple stack. Gets 3 stacks right away. Also, on level 4 now, Trumpered, as so often, for Li Ming. Again, Li Ming is going to be interesting, because when she starts to get kills against the Vikings, yes, she gets her resets, but once that you have Large and in charge on level 16, this really flips the script. Because Vikings can flank in against her, get that stun, and then drop her very quickly. So you need to be careful when you're Li Ming. It's a little bit deceptive. And it's a trap that a lot of people fall into when they are facing off against the Vikings, because they just don't understand what kind of threat they can pose against the squishy like Li Ming when they come in with that 16 talent. So Hazu is going to try and get those angles, but at least for now, Li Ming, of course, attempting to capitalize on a couple of resets to get the team ahead here. Bloodcool is only getting the drag against the minion. Copenhagen, yeah, might still try for another wolf stack here, and does. Actually long distance even. Gets the 4th one. So, nicely done. Channels are happening. Vikings are controlling the top lane, and they get 1. They're also interrupting against the Haka. Both of them actually do. And at the bottom, they're zoning them out as well. So this is 2 of the altars in the hands of the Exodia stack. The core down to 32 points, as the Vikings are still trying to be annoying, and even more annoying. And why? Because they can. Exactly. And they also can take down Nano, can't they? Goodbye, my friend. Gul'dan goes down, and Thrall has 5 stacks now. So he's about to complete his quest. 0 problems for him thus far. And Li Ming has also died to the Vikings already. So this is actually starting to look a bit grim for the blue team. They did well on the last map. It was a hard-fought victory on Aldrich Pass. But now that we're sitting here on Towers of Doom, at least the early game is not going their way. 3 kills to 0, 4 levels into the game, 2 out of the 3 altars lost. I mean, that in and of itself is not that big of a problem. This has always been a map that scales, of course, very aggressively. Thrall about to complete his quest, and yes, he gets it. 4 minutes, 24 seconds in, was for a moment in trouble, could have died here, but they're able to keep him alive and nearly turned it onto the blue team. A couple of camps could now be stolen again, at least they're trying. So they're already trying to move in and put themselves into a good position for that, and they do. So another pumpkin camp is claimed. Hook range just not long enough yet, so they're gonna have to extend this. And yeah, well, after 13, it's gonna get a little bit better for them. So once the hook range gets increased, then you can start to make your plays. Stitches is sitting on 10 stacks now on his level 1 talent. I personally really like, by the way, that this talent gets now chosen a bit more often. I really, really like that. And I think this might also have to do with players just trying it out a little bit more. And quick reminder, we didn't have the talent chosen a whole lot, and then we introduced the bounty with Alexstrasza, and all of a sudden, Hungry for More starts to pop up a bit more often. That has been true in the qualifiers, and it has been true here too. There's no chance for them to complete a bounty with this. They don't even have Alexstrasza, and by the way, they completed that anyways. So, yeah, I like that we're getting this a bit more. Box of Devour, so you get a lot more out of this. I've been preaching this for a while. This might not be the map where I would have seen it the most, but yeah. Now we have the level 10 abilities, and there's the Gorge! So, let's go! Can they get a kill here? Li Ming trying to get away. Ultralisk, Earthquake being used. Li Ming in trouble. Gets a heal here from Anduin. But the Crybaby is the first one to fall. They're hoping for more kills. They go for the Hako. Has to pop his essence, but gets stunned out. And Bloodcool in real trouble here. The cooldown for a hook is back. He could get hit hard, and I think they're gonna get him. Yep, they're already slowing him down with the Vikings. Real nice body blocking. And that is the second kill, which means 5 kills to 0. Not a single kill yet for the blue team. So, nicely done. I mean, level 10 abilities obviously helped a lot with this. Once that you have heroics and your opponent doesn't run any, you know that you're in a good spot to win the next team fight. And they were forcing that immediately, and with big success now too. Which means also that the next stop that we have is level 13, so the hook range increase is going to put the fear into the hearts of the dudes. Well, they're already afraid. Look at that. The follow-up is there immediately. Gorge after Horrify was used. Anduin is going for the bubble, by the way. Is trying to bubble it up a bit, but can he save them? And turns out he can. Damn, son. Not bad. Good move by Anduin. They get a double kill thanks to the resets. Li Ming is able to take down Thrall and Chromie. Now Ulta is in trouble, gets also killed. So Ultralisk carrying the team. Holy shit. Damn. That was nasty stuff from Ultralisk. Look at this crap. So damn good. Comes in and bam, another kill right there.
Holy shit.
Well done. Bell tower control also in their hands. Honestly, that turns it right there. That absolutely turned it right here. The calamity plays that we've just seen from Ultralisk, they had no kills up to that point, and now they just flipped the script on the Exodia stack. Not only did the red team lose 4 heroes, they lost the bell tower. Now we have a double altar up on the map, so this is the way that you bring yourself back into the game. Only 3 shots fired by the red team. Vikings are slowly going down. Balog might go for another interrupt, but he's a second too late, and he realizes it too. So a few more shots fired. Here come the 5. 31 to 25 on the core now. And again, the play made down at the bottom of the map, but they're trying to defend. Trying to defend as best as they can. Body blocking Copenhagen. Another hook, another hit, but he's able to get away. Level 13 on both sides. We now have timeout for Chromie. And yeah, with Chromie they also have the long range poke that they need to possibly get that bell tower back in a reasonable time frame. So, only question is, can they get into a position where that works out? Because the hook range has been increased. And that's already a problem for Li Ming. And Ultralis is again saved by the bubble. You're kidding me. I can't believe that that is the pick that makes it happen for the team. Amazing bubble play again by Anduin. Not really a talent that I usually call out for how well it works for the team. But have another look on this. Like, I mean, check this one out. This is really just Anduin with a big plays. Ultra stays in the bubble, all fine, completely safe, and Anduin to the rescue. Very, very rarely that you see that much value out of this ult, but he's now done it twice, and now they're turning it again. Nice helping hand. Awesome. And a Divine Shield on Ultha saves him too. What an amazing series. Yep, the grand final, definitely. I mean, yeah. This is exactly the kind of series that we wanted to see here. I don't even care what the score is. Like, even if it ends up being a 3-1 for one of the two teams, just the quality of games that we've now had on map 2 and map 3 in particular is pretty fun. Balo goes down, so Vikings are getting a bit farmed. We have a slight lead in experience for the blue team. Even the Vikings can't make up for that. But Aldous gets channeled again. And its first 4 shots are fired. They still battle for the altar in the middle though. Careful gets attacked. Blood Cool, careful, another hook. They're trying to shield Banana H, but Chromie gets through. The Haka double checking what's happening in the bush over here. Level 60 would also be nice if they can get to that point. But right now, not really happening. So again, everybody's just dancing around. Vikings still a bit active up at the top, so Balok could try and push the lane out here and get some experience for the team. Maybe get them level 16 sooner. Isolation, Earthquake, and the ult. Stitches falls. Benny is gone. The dudes definitely finding their rhythm a bit more now. They force Copenhagen back. Damage output, just to give you guys a bit of an idea, 38,000 for Chromie. 44,000 for Gul'dan. Gul'dan is absolutely crushing it. And the Vikings are still doing what they do best. They piss everybody off. Yep. Arthur's on the run. Banana H this time he's gonna make... No, he's still not making it. With 16 we get large in a charge. Now the Vikings are just destroyed everywhere. And Banana has still not been able to go for the full channel. But here comes the Horrify. Uther doing his best to keep him alive. Gets a Divine Shield out on Chromie to save her, but the channel has finally happened. That's another 4 shots fired against the Exodia stack, and that means they're down to 23 points on the core. So for the first time in this game, we have the blue team taking the lead. And they're just continuing. Felflame build is now basically completed. Mirror Ball is in. We got the double stack with the Glyph of Faith. And they can try and go for some bell tower control at the bottom of the map, for example. Just come in. Try and make the same play here. Tunnels are opening out now too. Stitches, of course, with Pulverize now in 16. We already saw Largen and Charge in action. But here comes that poke and all that wave clear from Gul'dan. So, careful, Banana H. All the way up at the front. And gets gobbled up just as he used his ult. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead and he's not the only one. This is the Exodia stack, bringing it back big time. Great Gorge from Bad Benny. And then the double kill. So now they are the ones that are starting to take control again. Yeah, just look at this. I mean, Anduin, no chance there. And then the follow-up hook against Gul'dan too. That gives the momentum. With those 2 kills, thanks to Chromie and Stitches, they're now moving for the bell tower and they're trying to turn the game around. Back and forth, time and time again in this series. And it just doesn't stop. Fantastic. Amazing, amazing plays from the two teams right now. Nobody's giving up. Everybody is just fighting, 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 and trying to get back into it. Bell tower converted at the bottom of the map. Now the advantage straight up for the red team, for the Exodia stack, as they also get the level 20 for Chromie. And of course, on top of that, we're now having the channel from Yasu at the bottom of the map, all the way at the top right. Hazu's getting another one, and that's 10 shots fired. Bam! Down to 15 points on the core. 3 at least also shot over towards the right side. Blue team is also trying to sneak a boss in now, as they've taken some of the Vikings out. Yeah, Jojo is attempting to connect on the flank, but they have full vision in the middle. So that was a very nice, sneaky little rotation that they executed perfectly. That gave them another 4 shot, and that puts the teams insanely close again. 15 points on the quarter, 16. But they're also going for Jojo. Gavlo trying to get away here, and Anduin is trying to get in range. Where's that pull when you need it? And it's too late! Anduin gets hooked instead, gets the bubble out. What the hell is happening in this game? They're still caught on the wrong side of that wall though, and they're losing too many heroes now. Gavlo goes down, Anduin has already fallen. Now we have Dehaka destroyed, and Nano, spoiler alert, he's... well, no, he's not gonna die because that's only Vikings chasing him. Or is he? Yeah, there was still a stun for Olaf with Largen in charge. That would have been a different story. But he is able to get away. But of course, they lost so many heroes here. Experience lead has been flipped, and this is already happening to a team that is down 1 bell tower. So the control is increasing even further for the blue team. Level 20 is not going to make things easier. Now, there's a couple of pumpkins traveling through the bot lane now that could really help to get a few more points connected with the core. Because the problem, I mean, not really, but like, the point still is, the Exodia stack, they only have 1 altar spawning up. So 3 shots are already fired, that helps them. But if they can connect the next 3, that would be pretty neat. That would put them, the blue team, into the single digits. So yeah, they escort those through too. They can't take another bell tower in time. They have level 20, but the boss has already been taken, so there's nothing else to do right now. And down at the bottom of the map, they just sent the Vikings in order to get the channel. Stitches is sitting at 30 stacks, so he has a bit more of a movement speed increase. But now they're trying to take this, and they have full vision on the blue team, or at least on some of them. They had it at the top. Now Jojo is maybe in trouble. Jojo could die here. Okay, she's still fine. That's the heal now as well. Stitcher has to be careful. Vikings still at the bottom of the map. Here comes Earthquake. They want the fight. Old misses from the Haka. And another long distance hook that seals the fate of Anduin. Gavlo is also low. The Vikings get the kill. This is the end. 3 heroes are dead. 4 points on the core. Boss is not coming back up in time. But any altar that spawns here, or just the control of the bell towers, is going to end this. They have only 2 heroes on the map. They won't be able to take the bell tower back, so that's already the problem in and of itself. We now have the Light of Stormwind on level 20. Not that it matters. Li Ming is dead too. Destroyed by the Vikings. Very fitting considering what I talked about earlier. Not only in the draft, but also as the series started. They can go for bell tower control, but honestly, they can just wait for... They can do whatever they want here. Wait for the next objective to come up. It's not like the blue team can move through the bottom bell tower. But getting full control of the bell towers is definitely an option right now. So, the Haka is moving away. Hook is a second too late, so he survives. Moves down to the bottom of the map. Spray game on point. I like it. But now they can go for the final bell tower. Blue team is of course going to try and take it down at the bottom of the map. Li Ming down for 20 seconds. That's exactly when the altars are going to spawn. And all that the blue team, sorry, the red team needs is 1 single altar. They can even cheese it. They can start the channel and then drop a divine shield on the channel hero. The only thing that the blue team can do is be aggressive, go in, try and get a kill. It's exactly what they're doing. It's a 4 versus 5. They know it sucks, but what else are you going to try and attempt here? It's the only play that you can make. You can't even call them out for it because they know it's a shitty play. They know. The only point is it's the only play that they can make. Li Ming is now here, and they're actually having a 4 versus 5 now, but they're fighting between bell towers. So the channels are happening with the Vikings. They have to cover all of these bases and at the same time win a team fight. Hook connects. That's the end of Li Ming. She came, she saw, and she got wrecked. Veni, VD, BG, and that is a full destruction. Shots are fired, and the Exodia stack takes the lead in the best of 7 as we are moving on to game number 4. GG. Game number 4, Garden of Terror. So, things are starting to get a bit intense over here. Exodia stack with a win in game number 3, but up to the point where he just flipped, it was mega close. So, either way, right now, the lead for the Exodia stack. Best of 7 series, we have 30 heroes that were played and therefore cannot be picked again. So we're slowly starting to enter the territory where you have to be a bit more careful with what you're picking. In total, we have 89 heroes in the pool, so removing 30 of those and then banning another 6 during the draft is obviously going to have an impact. We're still going to be able to get away with decent compositions here, but as we're entering game number 5, game number 6, and maybe even 7, that might change things up. So, with a 2-1 advantage for the red team, the question still remains whether they can follow up on that or not. Also, as you see heroes like Blaze banned, there's a very good chance that they keep getting banned as this continues because their power is just going to increase with a shrinking hero pool. Bounties, we haven't seen any. Just as a bit of a refresher what the teams could theoretically do here. This is the bounty board for the 2 teams. So a lot of them have been completed. Each team can only complete a bounty once. Specifically, the Exodia stack has completed tons of them. The one bounty that nobody cares about because it's just too bad is Twin Blade Variant. Nobody wants to play Twin Blade Variant even if you give them a monetary incentive because it's just so damn bad. But we've seen a ton. We've seen a ton. I still suspect that we're going to see, if at all, bounties maybe in game number 6 for the 2 teams, because this is the grand final after all, and you're not looking to increase your payout by 30 to 40 bucks. You want to go for the big prize money by taking first place here. Medivh as a first pick, by the way, which is also kind of bonkers when you think about it. So, first pick Medivh, that's where we're at right now. And you have to put this into context, obviously. There are certain heroes that will be banned if you go to the next phase, and now the prioritization changes completely because we have so many heroes already removed. So, Garrosh and Sergeant Hammer, it's actually a very, very strong opening for the Exodia stack, given the amount of heroes that are already banned out. And yeah, on the last few bans, let's see what we're getting. Banning out Abathar, by the way, Lucio, is some really powerful picks. If they have to change up their ban pattern later in some of the following games, then these are going to be taken for sure. So with Garden of Terror, we now have Mal'Ganis banned out. Obviously, if you're going into Medivh here, that would have been a nice layup for your Leyline, for example, or a few others. And since this is a pretty big map, you can use him to just roam easily between those lanes and set up some aggressive moves also against heroes like Sergeant Hammer. Now obviously the red team picked second, so they knew what they were up against, but they still just said, okay, we can deal with this. And you need to also pick, of course, some heroes that still have a big impact for you. Garrosh can always create a bit of space for Sergeant Hammer, so that's going to help. There's still a few globals up on the map now that could be taken too. ETC, for example, has not been played yet, so that's another choice with Stage Dive that we've seen prioritized by other teams and could be played again. And there he is, ETC. ETC with Stage Dive. We get Dino with Phoenix. Oh, every time I see Phoenix, I just want to see Murky. Give me that Planet Cracker Octograb combo and it's going to be amazing. But I highly doubt that the team is going to go for Murky, since I believe both have completed the Murky bounty. So, final 2 picks for the dudes. Grand final, game number 4. What is Nano picking this time? What are we getting as their main tank now? Malthael and... Oh, Zul and Nazeebo. Yeah, Zul and Nazeebo. Yeah, there we go. So, we get the Witch Doctor in the house. Main tank Zul, apparently. Alex would be proud. Alex the Pro G somewhere is having a bit of a sneeze because he is looking at his own creation. Now, that leaves us with the final choice for the red team. Way more standard composition from them. They still need a healer. I suppose they're still going to lock that in. And there comes Deckard Cain. Pretty solid comp for them. Bit of a gamble for the dudes here in game number 4. Let's see if they can put another point onto the board, tie the series once again, or if the Exodia stack is going to extend their lead in the best of 7. Game number 4, the dudes on the left in blue with Gavlo on Zul. We have Bloodcool on Malthael. And Nazeebo with the spider build now, so Nano is going for the Witch Doctor, and Ultralisk finds himself, I mean, no shock there, on Medivh, Banana H with Stukov. So definitely a pretty spicy comp that they are currently running against the red team. And since they're also down 1 game, 1 point, it's a risk. Harzorps on Sergeant Hammer. We get Bad Benny on Garrosh with the unrivaled strength as his level 1 talent. Dainu on Phoenix, Yasu's playing Deckard Cain, and Copenhagen on ETC. Very likely going for, of course, again, stage dive as usual. So, either way, at this point, what do we get? We have Benny immediately shadowed by Medivh. Medivh is going to be cheating throughout all of this. And, well, we have Sergeant Hammer already getting attacked a little bit. Obviously, Benny is also trying to work it right now and hoping for some opportunities that he can create for the team. When it comes to Ultralisk, I mean, he's in a spot where he needs to, on the one hand, shadow Garrosh, but he also wants to get his stacks together for the baseline pick. So, keep an eye on that. Still, I like that they're going out there with their comp, and obviously, since we have so many bans now, that makes a big dent too. Benny, very low, gets slowed, and is still... No way! How is he alive? There's so many plays throughout this entire tournament now, where people have just survived through the craziest situations. Now we're still getting them moving around here pretty easily with the portal control that we're getting from Ultralisk. So this is definitely, of course, helping them. I mean, the whole idea here just being that Medivh empowers you to go from one lane to another, from one camp to another, mega quickly, and is making things a little bit easier for you. But still, for now, at the bottom, a little bit of poke happening. And also, nice stacks coming together. Obviously, these interplays with Zul and Nazeebo don't only help Nazeebo to stack his level 1, but it's also quite nice for Medivh to have just a stationary target that he can farm a little bit. Banana H immediately on Hazops with the Sergeant Hammer here. And they got quite some camps, so they're taking control slowly of the bottom of the map. ETC at the top lane is pushing with the camp on his own though. Oh, ETC even going for the speed battle over here. Quite the interesting twist on how he's going to play that out. Quest is going to be completed very, very quickly, by the way, on the side of the blue team. When you're looking over to Nazeebo, for example, he's sitting at 43 stacks on his level 1 already. We still have to assist Blood Pool at the top because Malthael alone is not going to be enough to deal with this push. So Nazeebo is saying hello, has to farm also his own baseline. This is actually something where he hasn't been able to do that much yet. Now with 20, if you go for Viral Infection, that would of course been great. And actually, now that I think about it, I believe that they've already played Nazeebo once in one of the previous matches here in the playoffs. And Nazeebo was just an absolute monster with an insane amount of stacks on the baseline. But right now, they're invading again. Medivh making it possible and allowing them to steal another camp away. You look at the minimap and you can very quickly tell that a lot of the camps have now been stolen away by the blue team. So they are doing a great job on this. They're just taking one camp after another, a bit of mercenary control that applies pressure to the opponent, and working on the first few seeds. So the first one is an easy grab for them. Not only do they find themselves in a bit of a better spot because they applied all this lane pressure that the Exodia stack has to react to, but also it spawned on their side. And in the meantime, of course, the next problem for the red team is that Hazu does not have his level 7 yet, so that he has some additional mobility in this. Copenhagen at the top is going to move away from this too. Not a single kill yet either. With level 7, we're getting actually the Arcane Explosion now. Spider build continues. And, well, that's a kill on Malthael. That's first blood right there. Malthael is gone. Nice rotation. Got caught off guard. Blue team is attempting to at least do some damage at the bottom of the map as they're going for the wall and take that out. So, good for them. I mean, again, as I already said, it puts them in a really nice spot where they're able to get some damage done. If they can get a kill on Hazu, that would be even better. But, yeah, too much heal. Too many potions. Deckard, the potion master over here, was playing Severus Snape for just a second. So, only one kill. No kill yet for the blue team. At this point, it doesn't even matter all that much anymore. I got a bit worried in game number 3 when for the longest time they couldn't lock in a kill either. And then all of a sudden, Li Ming just absolutely crushed it. So maybe in the early game they are sometimes a bit slow to get ready here. But generally speaking, they will bring the fight. And right now, quest on level 1 is completed. We have 55 stacks on the baseline for Nano. So he's doing decent damage now, also down at the bottom fort, as you can already see here. So the continuous poke that they're executing is starting to pay dividends for them. Also gets reflected in the damage output a bit. Always, of course, in with the context that we haven't seen a lot of big team fights yet. That, on the other hand, was a nice flip by Garrosh. It's kind of frustrating when you're playing Garrosh against a good Medivh player, because you're trying to create opportunities the entire game, and then they get shut down by your opponent. Good news is, of course, that you force a lot of the cooldowns for Medivh to be used when he doesn't want to use them. But it's still a bit irritating, I would bet, if you're Bad Benny and you're getting great connects, and then the portal disappears next to the intended target, and it's just back to safety. But nice damage on those forts. That's the beauty of running the Zebo here. Sergeant Hammer with 12,000 damage. Not really a whole lot, but they get level 10. So here comes Stage Dive. As expected. I mean, again, they want to run the global, obviously, so Stage Dive is in. Old Man is trying to tell a couple of stories again. Stay a while and get wrecked. Stay a while until your ears bleed. And yeah, on the other side, no surprises there either. We get the Ravenous Spirit. Gary the Gargantuan is these days not really on vogue. A big shot from Stukov. So no Slapperino over here from him. And for Zul, we get the Skeletal Mages. So, Mage time. But one seed on each side now. Each team has taken a single seed at this point. And yeah, well, let's see what they can do with the push at the bot lane, because Zul is now using all of that wave there. That's the beauty of having Zul there. I mean, it's a little bit surprising to me, honestly, that Zul did not go for something like a side build or something that gives him maybe a bit more sustain, but they have not only a support but also Medivh behind it. But the idea, of course, is also that he brings wave clear that the other team is going to have a tough time to react to. So that's always part of the thought process when you're going into a composition like this. And top side, that's where we have now Malthael again, very much alone. So Malthael is currently just sitting there. We have a couple more camps up on the map that could technically be fought over, but still, 7.5 minutes in, only a single kill, so they're very much macro focused, both of them. No big plays are currently being made. They're just going for the objective. They're just waiting for fights that really need to happen. Nobody wants to make an aggressive move just yet. And it's more about trying to maybe get an isolated kill somewhere if someone steps out, gets out of position, or just waiting for the objective that forces you to respond and take a fight. That's kind of the game plan on both sides right now. Now, with that said, we have Malthael claiming the Siege Giant camp for the blue team. 98 stacks also for Nazeebo. I mean, they're going to be fine going into the late game. They're not worried about that at all. Late game is their friend. Nazeebo on 20 with Wild Infection. Are you kidding me? You're teeing that up for him with a nice play and you're going to be fine. In addition to that, the longer this lasts, the more they have chances to also stack Medivh. That, on the other hand, is a bit too much for them to handle. Even the BFG comes out because they want to ensure that Medivh can't do anything. But since he was still at the top lane, there was no way he appeared in time to do anything here. So, yep, nicely done. That allows them with the second kill to make a play for the objective. So seed number 2 likely going to be hit by them. Banana Age interrupts, but also has to run immediately. Blood Pool, another interrupt as well. I think a great job delaying this. 2 more seconds for Zul, and they're already falling back since they realized, yeah, this is not happening. If they're committed to interrupt this, then we can't do anything with only 4 heroes down here. Because ETC is still holding the top lane, and they actually give it up. They give the seed up, and now we have 2 seeds to 1 in favor of the blue team, who now have to rotate top sides to protect their own fort that gets currently attacked. These minion waves that get pushed out by ETC, bit of a problem. But again, very cautious game from both teams right now. And the problem that I really see for the Exodia stack, while it feels that they are making a lot of good decisions, delaying the game and playing for the late game against Nazeebo might be an issue. Now there's a lot of good things that they of course are also going to gain as the game continues, but Nazeebo has a lot of space and time to work with right now, which you traditionally would want to avoid. And the teams are on even experience too. So now we have finally a bit of a fight happening here. Sergeant Hammer also getting some good damage out. Portals again. BFG. Again the play for Zul, and he should fall. Yes, he's down. There's the salvo. ETC comes in. They want Nazebo, and they're going to get him. They're going to get him. He goes for the ley line. The portal. No way. No portal control. Ugh. Malthael dies, but not before he gets the stack out to himself. So he gets a kill. They're trading. But Nazebo is still with the Ravenous Spirit here for just a moment. There's going to be pressure by the red team, though. I mean, they're going to pressure this up. 4 kills to 1, 15.5. Only Garrosh is gone. Already at the bottom of the map, we have Siege Giants and Dinos starting to make a move for that fort. So that gets dropped down to 50% of its HP. The rest of them is already rushing out, and Dino should be able to escape. Maybe not. Nice! Yeah, he was a bit too confident. So they get a second kill. Phoenix is the one that dies. And that was nicely done. That was a really neat little play that they just executed here. So good for them. The rotation towards the top as the seed has been started, but the channel is not successful. So, yeah, good job by them. That was a really nice little move that they just made, and now we have Garden Terrors because they gave up one earlier. This one fails because Phoenix gets caught at the bottom of the map, and now Garden Terrors for the blue team. So both on level 16. That gives us also Giant Killer for Sergeant Hammer. Makes things a lot easier against the opponent's front line, despite the fact that we don't have a massively hit point heavy tank or anything. They're playing this currently with Malthael and Zul, but the blue team is still doing pretty okay. And the stacks for Nazebo are, of course, kicking in heavily. The next talent is going to be 20, and he's at 141 stacks. So he is probably very happy with the progress that he's making on his quests. For Midi, bit of a different story. He's a bit slower here. He's definitely suffering from the fact that there's not a lot of skirmishes going on. But he's at 27. He's still holding true to them. Bot lane, top lane, both still getting attacked. Now the attack again, against the catapult here. Against the fort. So fort gone. Topside fort also gone. All 3 destroyed. Just a quick reminder. The blue team has not lost a single fort yet. So currently, the Exodia stack is heavily behind on structures. Big part of course, because of the objective here. Nice layup, BFG, ETC, and the shove to prevent the power slide. ETC is where things get dangerous, because he can also control the portal quite well and just push you away from it. Can make a play there, so yeah, that's a lot of nice little moves that can be made by ETC in particular. So they have to get out, unless they're really willing to force that fight, or fight the fight. So they move away. They'll just easily retreat here. Another camp gets taken, but again, they already accomplished a whole lot here. They took all of the forts out. They pushed the opponent back. They have control of the game more or less. There's only a single seed in the hands of the red team. So it's another really nice spot for the blue team. It's not like they have, you know, one seed that they lose out and all of a sudden there's Garden Terrors for the opponent that brings them back immediately. But with Sergeant Hammer now on 16, that at least puts... they can start to siege up on some of these structures maybe a bit further. And once that we have the Ultra Capacitors, that's of course going to become even more of a threat. But it is a complete opposite from some of the other games that we've seen between the two teams here. Way more calm. Way more disciplined from both of them. Nobody wants to risk anything. I mean, least of all the blue team, of course, because they know this is... I mean, not their last chance, but just imagine you're going 3-1 in a best of 7. You have to win 3 games in a row after already having played 4. That's kind of nuts. So they want to prevent that as much as they can. If they lose this one, it's going to be a tall order to bring this back. So down here, another camp taken. Oh, here comes the salvo. Beautiful salvo connect that gets shut down. Nicely done. And the BFG. I mean, these BFGs that we're getting from Sergeant Hammer are absolutely connecting hard. Slide again, and this is exactly the portal control that I talked about. They want to go through the portal, ETC with a power slide, pushing everybody back out. They get the connect on Stukov. He's the one that falls, and that's the second seed easily for the Exodia stack this time. But, again, one level until level 20, and then we're going to have a look at Nazebo. Currently, he's at 34,000 damage. He's already top damage for his own team. We have 47,000 damage for Sergeant Hammer. By the way, talking about the damage numbers, just quickly, Blood Cool on Malthael does not really have a lot of stacks on his level 10. So he wasn't in a position where, thanks to fights that happened all over the place, he was able to get his cooldown reduction going. So he is currently in a spot where he only has a 5-second cooldown reduction because of the single stack that he got earlier. So not really a whole lot going on for him in that context. Now, again, Medivh, he's at 31. Nazebo's, by the way, done with the requirements for his level 20 talent. Gonna be very happy about that, since he's going to hit that in a moment. But Medivh is sitting at 31. So with 31 stacks, he's 9 away. I suppose at this point doesn't really play that big of a role anymore here for him. But here come the heroic abilities, the storm talents for both of the teams, and Vile Infection is immediately taken. So this is the big one, right here, right now. Big damage that is going to come in from Nazebo. Definitely going to keep an eye on that, and how much that's going to impact the game. Ultra Capacitors, so 35,000 damage for Nazebo as he picks his level 20. Let's see how that continues to grow here. He has the same damage as Phoenix. You can compare that a little bit. Nazebo and Phoenix have the same amount of damage. Then the level 20 talent kicks in for the Witch Doctor. And let's see how this is going to change the equation between the two of them. And still, not a single fort destroyed on the blue team side. That will change for sure if the seed is taken by the red team. 100%. Question is just simply, can they get it? Can they grab it right now? Nazebo has, by the way, already gotten 5,000 damage, 6,000 damage in that little fight. Just by the spiders nibbling a little bit. 6,000, nothing. 7,000. Just nothing. Completely, yeah, completely irrelevant for him. Just a couple of spiders thrown around, and the man is getting the numbers together. Look at Dino just disappearing here. Yeah, last rights, and that kicks in a 20. Oh, but the combo! And Nazebo and Zul both die. That was a big turnaround. That was a sick turnaround. Nice save, but well, as I say it, Malthael dies regardless. So, yeah, while Nazebo did mad damage, the fight still ends in favor of the red team. And they're gonna get the seed right now. That one was huge. That one was pretty amazing, but they are still getting crushed here. Because now, even with Malthael buying back, this is a massive problem. Phoenix got saved by the Unconquered Spirit, obviously, but just look how quickly they are just crushing everything at the top lane. The mid lane, the bot lane is going to take a bit longer for the Garden Terrors to have an actual impact, but now they are just moving in for the top side keep, and at least that is going to fall. There is no Nazebo here, there's no Zul. Fort has been lost, the fort in the middle is also going to get destroyed. They're just trying to slow things down a bit. If Benny gets a connect and can stagger a couple of deaths for them, that would be even better. But yeah, topside keep is gone. Fort in the middle will be destroyed by the Garden Terror. Nazebo is back up, but he won't even be able to defend anything here in time. And down at the bottom of the map, I highly doubt it too. Well, maybe. Can they save this one? They got a lot here. They might actually be able to save that one. It's going to be a close call, but I think they just barely can. And yes, there it is. So a bit of damage would remove that later on. But at least one fort is still standing. Nazebo is now sitting on 200 stacks. But the man is not invincible. 37 stacks for Medivh on the baseline. So that's the next bad news here. And yeah, the mid lane fort has now also been destroyed. So essentially the structural advantage is now on the red team side. They've been able to destroy all the forts plus a keep. And then at the top, now that we're 19 minutes in, these catapults that are starting to push through there are also starting to become a bit of a problem. But highlighting the damage difference again. 48,000 against 44,000. And this includes Phoenix doing damage while we had a dead Nazebo. Just saying. It's a 4,000 damage difference already. We're talking roughly 10%. That's not a lot, but that was accomplished in a single fight when Nazebo died fairly early. So this is the big danger. Nazebo is now a damage machine. So is Sergeant Hammer, by the way. And I mean, Phoenix is obviously chipping in a lot too. But just noteworthy that if they're now getting decent connects with Nano, they can do a whole lot here to change team fights. So red team has to be careful. They're now in the driver's seat. They have taken the advantage, but they also got to be careful that they're not falling into the Witch Doctor's trap here and then get punished. So 8 kills against 2. Obviously, team fights have been going fairly alright for the team in red. But, yeah, with the Ultra Capacitors now as well. Both of the teams are now on 0 seats, by the way. So it's highly unlikely that the seats are going to play the biggest role from here on out. I think we're going to have a couple of fights over them, obviously. At least at some point. But it's not that you have to end or force yourself into a fight if you feel you have a bad position because your opponent is threatening another set of Garden Terrors. It's not going to be the case for quite some time. The advantage that we also see for the Exodia stack is, of course, Stitches with the Global. So he's going to play a big role here. But yeah, Nasibo is still kind of funny. So he's getting a lot of health and mana with all of this. 200 stacks. It's not bad. He's soon going to be the main tank for the team, by the way. If he continues that trend, he's going to have more hit points than the rest of the team. Then again, they're starting to target him here. Yeah, BFG comes out, so does the combo, and the salvo has hit hard. But they had to retreat very quickly here, and they were still able to stay alive. Phoenix is actually doing a great job starting to catch up with the Zebra again, so shout out to Dino here. Siege Giants at the bottom of the map, by the way, so if not attended to, they could also do some damage on the keep. Yeah, Sergeant Hammer, attack, Gavlo, Gavlo, he's dead. Yep, he's gone. That's the end of him. Nicely done. Big shove, ETC gets fully shoved out of the fight, but they still lost the hero here. Now they're losing the second. With Stukov eliminated, that opens up the door to another keep. They could potentially go down to the bottom of the map or just go for the double push here. And yes, they're rotating down as already expected a bit. So here comes the play for the next keep. They're going to try and take the next one out. One seed in the hands of the blue team. Another seed is spawning as we speak. And, well, look at these spiders. One spider hit and Dino is nearly dead. One target and Dino nearly dies. Ridiculous. Now, thankfully for them, Deckard Kane is just throwing potions out. I mean, he's going for the Walmart special. You're getting as many as you want. They're free. So 2 for the price of 1 at this point. Make it 3 or something. The man is just going on an absolute spree. You get a... He's the Oprah of the Storm. You get a potion. You get a potion. Everybody gets a potion. Sergeant Hammer hasn't died yet, neither has Medivh. Has Medivh finally completed the quest? Yes, he has, okay. Yeah, right now, right here, right now with that push. I mean, again, it wasn't really a priority, and the game was lending itself to a bit of a slower progress, but it's still respectable that Ultralist, towards the end of it, is able to complete that. 250 stacks nearly for Medivh now. The seed has already been taken. 2 lanes are now pushing. And things are looking better and better and better for the Exodia stack. This could be the 3-1 lead in the best of 7 for them. So, let's see what they can do now. And let's see if maybe the thing is, if the blue team is actually getting multiple kills, they can also cross the map faster with portals. They can chase heroes with portals. So once that the fights turn in their favor, this could still flip. But I would still expect that we're going to see a very, very controlled and disciplined game now from the Exodia stack. There's a lot on line here for them. Malthael is defending at the bottom of the map. Another seed is spawning. So far, each team has 1. And yeah, currently I think they're going to have an easier time. By the way, this is another 25-minute game already. We had this insane Aldrich pass game earlier. And it seems they're just going for records here. I mean, 25 minutes is not that much yet. But we're on level 23, nearly level 24. And this game could still last a while. So we could see another long game between the two teams here. Yeah, vision by Ultralisk is already granted. They have a camp at the top. That's actually really important because of the catapult pressure that's continuously here. So it's not going to be a problem anytime soon. Dino also taking the catapults out over here in the middle. They're already attempting to push for that wall a little bit further. Seed is about to be claimed here, so they're not even trying to interrupt this. Instead, they're just pushing to take the wall out. Wall is easily taken. They get Hazops in position. with Sergeant Hammer. There's the flip. Portal gets used right away. Gavlo controlled away from the portal. Finally makes a move for it. They got Kane and bye-bye Zul. Glorious control from both portal sides here. Exodia stack with a mega smart play once again. They use ETC perfectly. It was a fantastic pick against Medivh. Highlighted it during the draft. The portal control is just mega strong with him. And they controlled both ends of the portal with the way they placed the team. So now another 5 versus 4 for them. Slow play once again. By the way, look at the damage output of Nazeebo right now. He has absolutely eclipsed what Dino is able to put to the table with Phoenix and is about to take top damage in the game, even against Sergeant Hammer, who previously had a 20,000 damage lead against Nazeebo, I believe. So, yep. Nazeebo is an utter monster. It's a 5 versus 4 right now, and they can't even take the keep out. What they're doing instead is make a play for the seed, but even that could be slowed down again. Time is generally working in favor of the Exodia stack with the 2 keeps that have been removed. But yeah, this is deceiving. This can still flip. One good team fight is all that the blue team needs. And this is why the red team is just playing such a disciplined game right now, because they want to make sure that that one big fight is not happening for the blue team. Another quick flip happening. There's again the salvo. 2 targets. Last rights. And ETC is dead. So is Medivh. Oh, the big ult. Holy shit. No way.
Holy shit.
What a play. What just happened? That's game. But what an amazing ult from Yasuo. This is... Whoa. This is one of the best ults of Decade Kane that I've ever seen. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Game is... It should be over. And now it is over. 3-1 lead. But what an incredible, absolute incredible ult from Yasuo. Single-handedly winning the game right there. That's insane. That was such a ridiculous play. 16 kills to 3. We're 27 minutes in, and the Exodia stack takes a 3-1 lead over the dudes. GG, well played. To the Spider Queen, game number 5, everybody. So, the best of 7 series continues. The Exodia stack has just taken an important victory on God of Terror. Now we're heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen, and now things are getting even more interesting. 40 heroes have been played, which means 40 heroes are now unavailable, and 6 heroes will be banned during the draft. So, yep, it's gonna get interesting here. Let's see. Lucio gets banned. I mean, again, a lot of the heroes that have been banned in the previous few maps are now going to be banned again, because as the hero pool dwindles, they become better and better and better in comparison to what else is available. So this is also the only moment where I could see the Exodia stack try a bounty, when they have a 3-1 advantage. This is the only game where I could see them go for a bounty, and even here it's a little bit questionable. Suljin gets banned, yeah, you kind of know where we are right now. So if they at any point think about a bounty, it's going to be here. They have tried the Gazlo bounty twice, they lost twice. They have tried the Murky bounty twice, they lost twice. So are they really willing to give the dudes a potential opening to start a comeback here? Or do they at this point just say, you know what guys, this isn't worth it, let's just win it? Kerrigan gets banned, and that means Blaze is up and Blaze gets immediately chosen. I mean, it's no surprise here, none whatsoever. So yeah, insta Blaze pick. Now, what's the Exodia stack going to do? Tomb of the Spider Queen, I'm honestly thinking a little bit about what we could get here. I mean, even Ragnaros as a potential option is, of course, still up. But, yeah. I'm kind of intrigued. I thought they would go for some bigger maps, so when the map choice was made... Auriel and Mephisto. They're baiting a Cho'Gall ban here. Yeah, they're baiting the Cho'Gall ban, 100%. Mephisto is a fantastic pick, obviously, for Tomb of the Spider Queen. He's a great pick to begin with. But you can still see how, even in game number 5, you still have some fantastic heroes that you can still choose. So a lot of heroes are viable. Not all of them, by the way. I know that there's a couple of people watching that immediately go like, oh yes, every hero's viable. And no, that's definitely not true either. Morales and Vala. Yeah, I like the Vala pick here. Morales, so we're going to go for some pocket heals for girl. Okay. I think the blue team has to ban Shogal though. Ho 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 ho! Okay! They are the ones that banned Shogal out. Yeah, would have also been a decent pick for the dudes, given what we're seeing here. But I believe the dudes would have been willing to ban them after Oriel was chosen. That seemed like a bit of a Shogal bait. So, Morales is in, and we have Vala. So the idea behind this is already established. And the final ban for game number 5 is Leoric. So Leoric gets banned out. And yeah, what are we getting for the double pick? Red team, again, with a big lead. This is match point for them. Mei for the front. Okay, Mei is in the house. Match point number 1. First one out of potentially 3 for the Exodia stack. And with Mei together, side lane. I mean, you know they go up against Blaze here. Or, yeah, they go Chen. Mei and Chen. Pandemonium! Okay, Mei and Chen are in the house. We get Mephisto with that too. And Gavlo and Nano as the final 2 choices. They still need a tank, of course. A little bit more damage wouldn't hurt either, unless they want to go for a double support with Vala. Possible, for sure. Or the attack style, 100%. But after what they picked for game number 4, I would expect something a bit out there. So, the dudes with Artanis and Mal'Ganis. Okay, Trash Tannis, yeah, I'm not sold on that yet, but we'll see. Artanis is in the house. Let's see if we can get some godly swaps here. Can they prove he's viable? The crowd goes wild. They want their Artanis win, but I'm not so sure that we're going to get it here. Triple frontline for Vala, and then Morales behind us. They're trying to shield them. And our final pick for the Exodia stack as we're heading into match point number 1 in this grand final of the Murky Cup is off here. The schoolgirl enters the arena, and we're heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen, ladies and gentlemen. Match point number 1, game number 4. The dudes in blue on the left. Gavlo in game number 4 plays Mal'Ganis. We get Banana Age on Morales. Nano is playing Trash Tannis. Blood Cool on Blaze. And then Ultralisk with an auto attack style with Creed of the Hunter as his level 1 talent choice on Vala. Triple frontline to protect him. 1 support. So gets the pocket support from Morales. Is on the right side. We get Hazorps on Mephisto. We have Copenhagen on Chen. Yasu plays Oriel for the team. Bad Benny on Mei. And Dino is going for Ancestral Strength on level 1 with the schoolgirl. Going full of fear on us here. So, he transferred level 1 for Mei. Artanis still needs to make his choice here. And is not going for reactive parry, but instead we get the Protector of Aya as his level 1. This is, by the way, one, and I keep saying this, and I am going to say this until the cows come home. I would love for Blizzard to tweak that a little bit so that they need to buff this slightly. Not by a lot, just a tiny little bit, and I think this would make Artanis a much more attractive hero for a lot of people to pick. Talking about attractive, look at that amazing skin, and what a beautiful tint. The black and white War Master Chen, as Chen connoisseurs all around the world know, this is the real skin to go for. Whereas Trash Tannis does at the top lane what he does best, he is dying. So, soaking up the damage is how the positive spin would look on this. But yep, he's gone, so bye-bye. He is already eliminated. The first death of Trash Tannis right here, right now. Now, meantime, we get Vala killed at the bottom of the map, so this is definitely not starting off well for the blue team. They're losing Artanis and they're losing Vala. The second is hurting them a lot more, because he's obviously the one that is currently... Vala is the one that is trying to keep the stacks together from the bounty, and that is the first 5% of the attack speed bonus just gone. Yeah, that is hurting them a little bit, so not great start. At least they opened up the bot lane. That's the good news, I guess. open the bot lane up a little bit and take parts of the wall out. But now all the way up at the top, trying to get a bit more damage in against Nano. Obviously they are turning their gems in quickly. I actually respect this from the team really a lot when they turn the gems in very early. Nano, did Nano just swap himself to death? Did I see that correctly? And I think I did. So Nano dies. He just committed Sudoku. I mean, we'll take another look at it, but I think he just committed Sudoku. Look at this. Here's the turn-in. Then he goes for the swap. And he's like, me smart. And then he dies. So, yeah. Trash Tanner's dead again. And, well, now we have 3 kills to 0. 1 level lead already. And this is getting very dangerous now. There's always a chance that you're going to get snowballed. Now, 3 kills doesn't sound like much. It isn't a whole lot. You can always bring that back. But the danger is that you get snowballed, that you lose control of the game. So, gems are slowly being turned in. 17 have been delivered as is. And now we're having the next little move made. Yeah, Benny gets attacked up at the top. The whip misses. Gavlo, 10 gems for him. Blaze is slowly moving up as well. Ultralisk still gets all of those neat little heals from our girl Morales. We have the Psionic Synergy for Artanis. He already died twice, as I said. But down at the bottom of the map, still that 1 versus 1 as Artanis has started to switch lanes a little bit. They're trying to go for Chen. We take him out here. Dino's just slapping. Absolutely slapping with Ophia. So gets that Shadow Walls in time and time again. Down here, Copenhagen is still holding the line against Nano. But the turn-in attempt at the top is nearly working out for Benny. And Gavlo comes in again, trying to put everybody to sleep. He usually plays that little game with Deckard Cain, where they are both looking at it and they're like, okay, who can bore people to death the fastest? I mean, most of the time it's actually Deckard Cain that's winning, at least in my opinion, but hell. So, 3 kills to 0 still. Level 7 has started to kick in. 26 gems now delivered by the red team. Blue team has enough gems for a turn-in too, but haven't been able to complete anything here yet. Not a single gem turned in for them. But they are slowly starting to take control over the turn-in point. So, that's something that they are able to pull off here. Mephisto gets attacked. Nano with another swap down at the bottom of the map with 15 gems for Copenhagen. If they could take control here and get that turn in, that would nearly get them to the first set of web weavers. Yeah, next attack is coming in. Nice damage from Ultralisk, but Dino is countering that quickly. Has to be very careful here as he gets attacked. May. Oh, here comes Mephisto. And they go for Vala again, and she is dead for the 2nd time. Kiss your attack speed goodbye, Ultralisk. That's 10% of the attack speed bonus gone. I mean, thankfully for him, at least he's getting the auto attacks connected. So when you look at his level 1 quest, he currently has 67 stacks. That's decent. Benny gets interrupted again. Yeah, but what about Nano? Nano is also a bit low here. It needs to be very cautious too. Mal'Ganis is down at the bottom of the map. They turned in 28 gems themselves. Nano! Ben. Oh, Blood Cool! And he's alive! And he's dead. Goes down. They connect the gems at least. The red web weavers are also coming down onto the map in just a few more moments as the red team turns in. But the kill against Blaze, obviously a decent one. And now the attempt to take some of the structures down a notch before the web weavers even arrive. That's 5 kills to 0 now. And what worries me a bit more is that gap in experience that could very well lead to a level 10 talent that happens during this push. If they are splitting onto the lanes and get a few more minion waves, then heroic abilities are not out of the question for them as this play continues. And that is a problem and a half for the blue team. So yes, that is trouble brewing. Right now, we have the attack in the middle, and they get an easy kill against Mal'Ganis with the ult of Mephisto. Heroic abilities giving them a perfect opportunity to get big damage out here and start to take structures apart. The ice wall has been set up. They're trying to get the kill here. Artanis is coming in. Ultralisk, ultra low, but at least this time he's able to survive. That fort in the middle, though, will likely fall. Blaze misses the jet propulsion. Benny becomes the target, but they're just going for the top kick plays from our boy Chen. And easily retreat here. 1 fort destroyed. Couple of walls taken out. Got a kill too. Couldn't follow up with another one on Vala, who's now at 83 stacks. But still, I think they're probably pretty happy with all of this. Could have done more, I guess. But this game is, at least for now, going well for them. 6 kills to 0 is already telling the tale here. But now we have Heroics on the other side, and that starts to change things a little bit. So Nano is immediately trying to go for another swap, but Chen jumps back out. Here comes the Stim Drone. Vala trying to weave in a few more auto attacks, coming in with a big damage, at least trying to. Not able to do too much just yet. And, well, they are fighting back against Gavlo here. Turn an attempt, also possible from the blue team, specifically if they can get a kill here. But, yeah, Nano. Uh-oh, could be Benny that gets becomes the target. And even Chen. I mean, yes, Chen is also slowly moving out. Turn in from Ultralisk. Oh, they go for the interrupt. Yep. Ultralisk is also very low, and so is Artanis, who gets pushed into a wall and stunned out. But it's really Mal'Ganis who has the big problem currently. Bunker is being popped too, and here's the Aegis. Maybe a kill now for them. They are able to save Mei for another moment, and there's another kick play against Artanis. The team has to fall back. Couple of fountain cooldowns could still be up, but since they had to retreat, the turn-in is happening. Ultralisk able to deliver. Great for him, but also for the team. They're going to get their Web Weavers. And then we're going to get, potentially, the first structure destroyed from them. So, yeah, so far so good. 6 kills to 0. Still the blue team waiting for the first opportunity. Well, not the first opportunity, but for the first kill. And keep in mind, this is match point for the red team. If they win here, they take the tournament. So now the Web Weavers are on the ground. We have 26,000 damage for Vala, 40,000 for Orphea. Up at the top, they're still trying to attack here, but the Web Weavers are getting burned down very quickly in this spot. Now, the question is still what Mal'Ganis and Artanis can do, as they are, of course, still attempting to get a swap. Another play here. A bit of an isolation move against them. The bot lane is currently experiencing the most trouble because Ultralisk with the auto attack is moving in, and they're going to take that fort out. So you gotta give it to the blue team. I mean, they are doing what they can in order to fight back here. They have still trouble getting kills, as Vala is getting more stacks. Even if she loses the auto attack speed, this is gonna get more likely for them. Also, of course, with level 16 soon on the horizon. Here comes another quick move against Gavlo, trying to get out. I mean, they're doing well on the retreat, but he has... Oh, the ult! Positioning on the ult was actually not too bad, but got stopped anyways. That was an opportunity there, though. Enough for a turn-in, so they can make that happen once again. Turn-in is happening right there. And now we have 115 stacks for Vala, 75 for Artanis, 52 gems already delivered. They're lacking another 3. And I think they're turning in at the top, and yep, Yasu was the one that delivered the final few. 13 talents are ready for them. Alright, show me what you got. Web Weavers are coming back down. Blue team still needs some kills. Still need a couple of kills here, but they have to also face the music with these Web Weavers now, so it's all about defense for the time being. Top fort, that's where they're going to try and get another structure destroyed. So yeah, make the top fort play here. And maybe even a few kills. Decent ult, at least initially. Banana H dropped low, and once that Morales is gone, you know they're in trouble, but at least he was able to stay alive and get out of the fight. It still dropped the fort. Vala isn't here, that's a problem. Gavlo stunned and gets slapped by Orphea, and that's a kill. They might get another one here. Morales is low, she's gone, and it's a triple, baby. They're going for the triple kill. They get all 3, Mal'Ganis, Blaze, and Morales, and all of a sudden, that top side keep is wide open. Nano, Trash Tannis, 44 gems. He's dead as well. They're losing all of the gems here, and they're going to lose the keep at the top for sure. The keep in the middle is about to get destroyed as well. Down at the bottom of the map, Ultralisk is playing a completely different game with Copenhagen. And that is, I mean, this is the potential to end the game, to end the series, to end the tournament right here. The best of 7 grand final. 3 level advantage right now. 10 kills to 0, 16 to 13. They got the 16 talent as well. They're trying to farm a couple more kills. Vala is still down at the bottom of the map. Ultralisk is semi-AFK, finally half back to assist the team. But they are just in deep shit, as we say in professional circles. I mean, this is a disaster for the blue team. Trying to bring it back. Chen is kicking out. They got enough gems for another turn-in, by the way. The core is already losing hit points. It's down to 88%. Blaze goes down. 5 versus 4. 11 kills to 0. And utter disaster as the Exodia stack is just farming the opponent. They're going through them like hot butter through cheese, and they turn the game into a farming simulator. The dozen is full as they have another kill. That's only 3 defenders left. And the core will most likely soon fall. They're falling back now. They are running low on mana. They don't want to risk anything. They have 63 gems. Why risk it right here if you can play this mega safe? They could go for the boss as well at this point. And look at Gavlo, even trying to interrupt them if he somehow has an opportunity to do that, and it doesn't seem likely. Boss gets prevented for now. They're tapping the fountain. Now the move straight up for the final turn-in, potentially. I guess they're gonna... Yeah, they're double-checking the boss, but nothing is happening over here. 69,000 damage for Ophia. Nice. And we see them just dominating. Bottom fort is still standing, but again, that's not going to change anything. Mei is pushing the lane out a little bit, so the Web Weaver is going to deal with that easily, but they, of course, have their goals set a lot higher than that. They want to go for the victory. They want to go for the core, for the match, take the grand final, crown themselves the champion of the Murky Cup as they're slowly moving through the mid lane. Vala on 175 stacks, still no level 16 in sight for her. And this is just a disaster. The defense is being set up slowly. They're trying their best to somehow win through this. Web Weaver's pushing for the core already as the defense is trying to get into position for this. Nano is already eating the damage as the rest of the red team is starting to collapse onto him. And that's the end of Atanis. Or is it? He's trying to get out here, but he finally falls. The core is losing shields as we speak. Chen with another keck play as he isolates Blaze. Bunker is already out. They're chasing him. They're chasing Mal'Ganis. They're going for the rest of the team too. Ultralisk is doing his best to take the Web Weavers out and has defeated a couple of them. But they are still down one defender and the rest of the team is already on the run as Dino is moving in again against Blaze. And this time he might just get the kill, and indeed he does. Shield is essentially removed right now. 14 kills to 0. The core is dropping, and it's dropping quickly, as the blue team is desperately trying to turn the game around, but with only 3 heroes on the map, it's essentially impossible. Ultralisk, he can pop off, but not by that much. Gavlo gets attacked. Nano back to business, and they might still be able to defend a little bit longer as we have a big swap against Mephisto. He might get killed here. The core is at 60% right now, but Nano dies again. Trash Tannis, not viable after all. 6 deaths on him, 15 kills to 0. 16 kills to 0. They go for the team wipe. They want the entire team. They want Ultralisk, and he's the next one to fall. 17 kills to 0. Death timers are so low that they can just farm them one after another. They want to get on for the 2 dozens apparently. Dino is alive, doesn't even die. Gets another heal from Oriel. They go for Gavlo. 18 kills to 0, and that is game. A 4-1 victory for the Exodia stack as they crown themselves the Murky Cup champions. GG!
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.